What's happening, buddies? Bring it all the way down. All right, it's good to be back in D.C., back in the motherland. How's everybody doing today? I'm Ron Bennington. This is Gail Bennington.
Yo.
And I'm Ron Bennington. Now, it's good to be back here in the district. And we also, Chris Stanley here, everybody.
Oh, thank you.
Chris
Thank you so
Stanley.
much.
Almost got applause.
Great.
Almost got applause.
Just barely.
Chris, did your Tinder date work out for you?
No, I tried to get a woman to come meet me at my hotel, but she said the neighborhood was too dicey.
Yes. White people do not come into the district at night. This is a known fact.
Disappointing.
Yes, white people are like, we love D.C. until the sun goes down. Then we stay in the vanilla suburbs.
I tried to get Chris to invite her. He said he didn't want her out in the light of day. I wonder what's wrong with this person.
It's yeah.
That's me.
Well, it's the latest addiction is a sex addiction. Is that correct?
Without a doubt, yes.
Yeah.
I need sex from whoever will give it to me, preferably women.
That's only a preference of women. Which goes to show you how far we've come along, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, of all his addictive phases, where do you rank this one? Is this more annoying Chris Stanley versus...
So it's alcohol,
Yes.
Pills,
Yes.
and gambling.
Yes.
And now, has sex moved into the top?
Well,
or-
considering I met a 20-year-old girl, Albanian, who just called me daddy and asked me to just snort Adderall with her, I'm going to say this is moving to the top.
No, it's nowhere near the top.
It was really
First of all,
bad,
and the fact that Adderall is still in the play. And you've never had sober sex. Is that true?
Oh, God, no.
Yeah.
No, I bought a jug of Yellowtail wine for my date last night. And I told her, I have some jug wine, come over to my hotel room. And that still didn't get her to come
That's
over.
a classy guy.
I feel like to even get a jug of Yellowtail wine, you would first need a time machine. It's not anything that you could get in 2017.
The liquor store I went into was like a time machine.
Yeah.
Covered in bulletproof glass. It was scary.
What time is that?
Where did you buy this? The Wire? I've never even been in a liquor store with bulletproof.
Marlowe sold it to me.
Marlowe. Okay, so you did.
It's a long time
Did you
since
think that was going to get a big laugh?
I was hoping.
He does well with local references.
He thought this was WireCon. People who love the Wire that get together. Now, I'll just say this. Did you guys first start listening to us by applause at JFK before? Yeah. And how many people are just XM people? You raised your hand during the applause. That's definitely just XM. It's always, I say XM because when you're in D.C., this building has never paid attention that we merged with Sirius.
No. This is the time
still
machine.
says XM. And both companies are great. Sirius is great, too. You don't like Sirius, sir? No. Just XM? That's old school. Where are you from? You're from here in D.C.?
Yeah.
Why don't you get a mic on him, Chris? I hate to wake you up.
I'm out of Richmond, Virginia.
Out of Richmond, Virginia. Listen to that applause for Richmond. You happy with Trump?
Yes and no.
Yes or no? What part are you happy with? The being mean to Mexicans?
That's it.
I mean, I think that's something we can all agree on.
Was it the pussy grabbing that got you, perhaps?
That still works, right?
It does.
Who would ever thought we would have a pussy grabbing president? Well, we
Yeah.
had Clinton, but he acted
Right.
like he didn't.
Right.
He swore that he didn't.
This is openly pussy grabbing.
And now he's like, you could have fucking said that? God damn it. Why didn't someone bring that up to me? I could have ran on that platform. He'd still be president. Well, what part don't you like?
His lies and his Twitter.
Oh, yeah. Well, he can't stop lying. He's from New York. That's what I like. Like, everybody around the country has always hated New York City. and then they vote it for like the most New Yorkiest that you could possibly fucking put. Like just a New York street hustler. You know? That's the beauty of it. It works as a TV show. I don't know if it's going to work as a country, but as a TV show, it's fucking amazing. I can't turn it off. All right, for you folks that first came aware of us from JFK, at JFK, we had what I considered the best caller of my entire career. And she is here today. Ladies and gentlemen, we're all going to start applauding right now for the one and only Crazy Jen! Crazy Jen! Crazy Jen, there she is! Come on in. Have a seat, Jen.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, it's been a lot of years.
It's been a lot of years, my friend. How you doing?
And we're very good. We're very happy to see you. Gail, you were a little girl the first time you met Crazy Jen.
Yeah, and, you know, it's always important to me to have strong female role models.
Oh, yeah.
And that's Crazy Jen for me.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. I remember you working at a skater shop. And
That is true.
That is true.
You were,
working at a skater shop.
And you were just the most adorable thing. And your
What
dad
happened?
was... Yeah, he was like, stay away from my daughter. He was like, have
No, I told you to stay away from everything, Jen. My daughter was just part of that.
You know, and I just followed you home one day, and I was like, that's where she works.
Yes, that's where she works. And then you were outside and taking pictures and scaring the customers.
And following her home on her bike.
Yes, none of these are pleasant memories. Now, some people call the police when they're stalked, and other people say, oh, grab a mic.
That's right.
Sit down and hang out with us.
All right.
Now, since we've last seen you, you've become a best-selling writer, and I picked these up. You write children's books. This one's called I Do Not Want This on My Plate.
I didn't want to make the title too difficult
Right.
for people to understand.
Right. But it's about, and then the child is sitting on a plate?
Of green beans.
Okay, so the child is sitting on the plate of green beans. And the name of this one is what?
My abuela is sick. But here, because listen.
Hold on. Everybody's calling Pixar right now
No.
to try to have these turned into movies.
That's what, you know what? Me and you were on the same thing. I was
Yes, of
thinking
course we
Disney,
are.
Because I was trying to get like a little Spanish in there.
Yes.
So I
What
don't.
part was the Spanish?
Just abuela. That's all I knew.
Yes. Now, what? Tell people what that means. People that don't have your grasp on so many languages.
What that means is grandma and like the marketing people will call me up and they'll be like, hey, that book, My Ebola is Sick, can we market that? And I'm like, brother, it's abuela, okay?
Yeah.
And I know I don't sound Spanish or anything like that, but I got second place in Latino awards.
Second
Oh
place
my
in the
God.
Latino Awards.
Thank you.
Every one of your readers is being rounded up by the Trump administration and taken away.
Hey, man, we're trying to go against the wall here. We're writing books.
Is that right? You're not on the side of the wall?
Nah, man, nah.
No.
I can't. You know, I went to the Marianne Williamson. She had a convention, just trying to bring like light and like. I mean, if y'all are Trump fans, I mean that's cool and everything like that. God bless you. But dude's crazy. Dude's crazy, man. I don't understand how you're gonna get on Twitter. And just like you got the FBI and everybody behind you, and like if your tower is getting bugged, like why are you gonna go complain about it? Like get some like somebody up there.
You know what?
I would complain about it. But
I finally understand now, Jen, thanks to you and your political insightfulness. I get it.
I would love to get her a show on POTUS.
Oh my God.
Political commentary.
Why can't I run for senator or be president?
Who
Oh my
are
gosh,
you
why
guys
not,
going to be
man?
behind Crazy Jen?
Let me tell you, if I was
good.
president,
Oh, boy.
it would be America. We will all get like free Starbucks, pizza, reduced Popeyes, no long drive-thrus for anybody.
Hold on
That's
for a
what the people want.
Hold on for a second.
That's
We're getting
what I
free
want.
Starbucks. We're getting free pizza, but only a reduced in our pot pies.
Only yeah, man.
Why reduce?
Because you got to draw a line somewhere.
Okay.
You
That
can't just
is
give it
true.
all away for free.
Yes, that is true.
There's how you know what? It's like America put on sweatpants and just said fuck it.
Yes.
I just don't
Hold
get
on.
it.
Why isn't that your new book? America just put on sweatpants and says fuck it.
Can I take that line?
You came up with it. There's no way I can keep it from you. That is yours.
That's gonna be
As-
the best kids book ever.
As much as I wish that was my line, I can't possibly.
That's gonna be great. And you know my abuela is sick. It's a true story. It's a true story.
So this is nonfiction. We can find this in the non. So there was a little girl whose grandmother was sick.
She was. You know, the thing that happens is that when little kids get sick or adults get sick, especially with cancer, people tend to kind of back off. And so, yeah, they don't want to talk about cancer.
Not my problem.
You know, they're like, hey, you gotta,
Hold on. You act like this is AIDS in the 1980s.
for real.
It's cancer in 2017.
But nobody wanted to talk to this kid, and like her mom was crying in the bathroom, and she'd ask her mom what's wrong, and
Right.
you know she wouldn't tell her. And then the kid would go to the school age program, and then the kids be like, "Your grandma dead yet?" And they're just kids. You can laugh because they laugh too. So
No, we shouldn't laugh at a little
that-
girl whose grandmother's dying. That should be in the book.
that's in fine print.
Okay. So this is this for children?
It's for children and to explain what cancer is. But the thing is, it's not my story. So what I'm doing is I'm donating all the money, all the royalties that I make to St. Jude. And it's only like $10.50 right now because not a lot of books are sold. Thank you, Ronnie, for that royalty, by the way.
Yes, I did buy it. But do you want people like, all right, honey, I know you're sleepy. Let me read you a book before you go to bed.
Yeah,
It's about a little girl whose mother has cancer,
yeah, exactly.
or grandmother.
And then you could like fill in the words like,
Yeah.
my abuela got a stomach ache or something like that. Like if
Right.
you're not, you
So,
know.
some
Then
we
she
could
died.
take cancer if we want out of this book, and it could be like my grandmother has a puppy.
Yeah. And then she lost her hair, and then, you know.
Just tell me
She got
everything works
chemo.
out.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna read a piece here, and this is the little girl talking. Okay. I tell my mother I don't feel good. My stomach hurts, my head hurts, and it feels like it's stinging, and I can't see well. I think that I have cancer.
well, because
No, explain. I want to hear.
because that's what happens with little kids is when they don't get it, they internalize it, and they think that they have what you have. If they don't get, that's why they play and they make sense of that's how they make sense of their world.
All right, I'm going to read the next line. My mom sits on the floor beside my bed and she picks the doll off the floor. I had cut my doll's hair and now she has a scarf tied around her head.
She
made a cancer doll?
She did make a cancer doll, and I wish they made. That's gonna be my next one. I'm gonna make cancer dolls.
Now that's an idea.
We could have,
I know.
I don't know if Pixar could pick this up, but this could be a horror movie
It really could.
where the mother comes into the room and the doll's head has been shaved and a scarf around them.
Oh my gosh, you think about it, and we could do it with like kids with no eyes and like no fingers and stuff. We can get a whole market out there.
I don't want to.
Something for every disability, or like.
So nobody feels left out.
Nobody feels left out. Hey man, you ain't got a toe? There's a toeless doll. Nobody thinks about these things.
Well, for a reason.
Whole market.
Yeah.
Everybody wants the normal doll. You know, they're making Fat Barbie now.
They are?
Yeah, man. Used to make, young pregnant Barbie in the trailer, but they stopped that for political reasons. I don't know why.
No one ever made young, pregnant, unmarried Barbie.
Yes.
Never happened.
I think so.
No.
Why didn't I have that?
No.
Yeah.
Because it didn't exist, Gail. I can't buy you things that don't exist.
That's why they had that teenage movie, that teenage show out where I'm a teenage pregnancy, and then Maury Povich came all because of pregnancy Barbie.
No.
Yeah.
Not one thing you're saying is true.
No.
Everything you're saying is wrong and a lie.
There was no Ken. Ken was not around. They don't even know who the father is.
Ken ran away.
Ken went away. And then they had Toy Story and then the whole Barbie thing. I'm telling you, Ronnie, you look it up. Mind blown. It's crazy.
Yes, this is crazy.
It's crazy town.
So, when, by the way, if you're just tuning in, yes, this is real. That's a real human being, not a character.
Mind blown, man.
Yeah.
See, this is things. I think about things all the time.
No, you don't.
Yeah. And I get these concepts and these ideas that people, and they're like, that's just crazy. Then somebody else makes it like Steve Jobs, and they're like, hey,
Steve,
man.
hold on. Hold on. I want to just make. Yeah.
Steve Jobs has a lot to learn from Crazy Town.
So you're saying at one point you came up with the iPhone, and then you didn't act on it, and Steve Jobs came up with it.
Yup, because you know what? When I was a kid, I used to pretend my mom's pack of cigarettes was a cell phone, and I used to walk around there like, you're crazy, and I'm like, no. Then the iPhone came out. Yeah, you see that?
So if someone would have believed in you, we'd be able to smoke our iPhones right now.
Let me tell you, if somebody believed in me out there in the world and like thought my ideas, like they thought Einstein was crazy. Yeah.
No one
did.
did.
The world was flat.
No one thought Einstein was crazy, and no one thought that the world was flat when Einstein was here.
And
Just Shaq.
And then
Yeah, it was Shaq did.
oh,
yeah.
no. It was Thomas Edison. You want me to tell you about Thomas Edison?
No. No, I don't want to hear any of this.
They said Thomas Edison could not go to school because he was mentally, you can't say retarded anymore, he couldn't think. Yeah. He couldn't
They
think.
said he was incattent.
He was in Catton.
That's not even a fucking word.
Well, it's like close to a word.
Okay.
But they said he couldn't think, and then he got a note home, and then his mom was like, "Nah."
Well, why didn't they just call his mom on the phone?
Because he didn't invent it yet.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
you see that?
I gotcha.
But later on, see, and hey, the guys who invented the planes, they said, "I'm gonna put a bird in the sky and put some internet up there, and people flying there like you're crazy." Did it? Boom, up there. There you go.
I'm coming around now. I'm starting to believe.
She makes great points.
I know.
Yeah.
Kardashian's career. Hello.
What?
Yeah. Mind blown.
No, none of that. None of that blew my mind. Kardashian's career, hello. And then you try to drop the mic and walk out of
There you go. Who would have thought of that, man?
I'm worried that Gail's going to start catching this.
Gail's thinking about it.
I mean, like to me, I feel like she's hit some like next level ideas. She seems
Thank
like
you.
You know, like everybody needs a shaman. You know what I mean? That's something I've been searching for.
Thank you.
feel I could find that with Crazy Joe.
Oh my gosh, Gail, me and you can go on retreats together.
I would love that.
Oh
I would
my
love that.
gosh. I would listen. Our retreats. I'm gonna tell you the truth, Ronnie.
I wish you wouldn't. I wish you wouldn't tell me anything that you believe in.
I joined the cult. I kid you not. I joined the cult.
No, none of us are surprised.
I thought you.
We expect everyone in a cult to sound exactly like you.
No,
I didn't know people in cults say that. I'm in a cult. It's pretty weird.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm in a cult now. Yes, don't worry about me.
Well, we don't hurt people or nothing like that. We like sit in the woods, and we like say namaste.
Wait, did you just say you were eating the woods?
Yeah, I eat in the. I got a tent, and like a lot of people don't wash in the woods, but like I'm like one of the washing people. Yeah.
Washington is what you're looking for.
It is. Yeah.
Now, why are you? Why is your cult? Is it a cult or are you just camping?
No.
I mean, it sounds like you just went camping.
No.
This cult, do you fish and build fires and sing around them?
Like the hardcore cult people do, but like I just go to the food trucks. So, cause they like have vegan trucks, but I don't eat the vegan food. So, like, I get drinks from them. I bring my cheesesteaks.
Now, first of all, it's quite the picture you're painting, but you would be the first person any cult would say, go leave. You're allowed to leave. You don't have to stay here. You don't have to stay in the cult. You're fine. Go.
Yeah, man, they sit around and see, and the world, everybody thinks the world's a terrible place. We're out there in the woods, swimming in the majestic lake, and it's just... and eating some tortillas and being like...
What is this cult based on? Just picnicking?
No.
It doesn't sound like any cult.
How much are s'mores involved in this cult?
Is it
a lot.
Is it the Girl Scouts?
No. It's yoga.
Do you get badges?
We got you can get badges. It's yoga because I discovered yoga.
That's not a cult.
It is a cult.
They have them at mini malls. It's not a cult.
No. But listen, there's different levels of it. Like you could be in like yoga and like just want to wear like the fancy pants. Like I'm not like that.
No, we can tell.
Yeah, because like I fall and stuff, and like I wear my sweatpants. And let me tell you something. All these yoga commercials with these little skinny girls and these half tops. Yeah, it ain't happening. Everybody got stained shirts, and we're eating cheesesteaks, and the room smells really bad.
None of this is true.
No,
There's no yoga where you have stained shirts, and then you eat cheesesteaks. That's the fucking Rocky movie.
And sometimes they cuss, too. They're like, do fucking down dog. I'm like, all right, I'm down dog.
They never say, do the fucking down dog.
Yeah.
Does anyone here do yoga, by the way?
Do you do yoga?
Is any of this true? Even slightly? And grab a mic. I hate to wake Chris up, but right here is the gentleman that's talking.
Come on, man.
Is yoga considered a cult to anybody?
Yoga might be considered a cult, maybe down south. Maybe in the south they might consider.
Where
it
you
a
from?
cult,
California?
I'm from North Carolina.
Ah, see, because you got like a nice smile. You look like
it's a North Carolina
like
smile.
Tony Robbins.
Another cult.
They definitely don't say do downward fucking dog though.
No one says downward fucking dog. Plus,
because they don't cuss down there.
By the way, he thinks that you're that Southern, and you're from Jersey, and no one from Jersey talks like you do.
Because let me tell you, because everybody asked me about my Southern accent because my life was real shitty and I needed to get away from home, so I climbed into TV, into Benny Hill, and that's how Benny Hill talks. So.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Benny Hill is from England, and then most of that, wasn't it a silent show? No, I mean, to this day, no one does a Benny Hill impression.
No, I meant Flo from that show with that, she was that waitress. Yeah,
from
Alice.
the show Alice.
Yeah, Alice. I want to talk
about Alice. What the hell has that got to do with Benny Hill?
Yeah, but wasn't that a spin-off of Benny Hill?
That was the only two channels we had was Flo and Benny Hill.
That's not channels.
Confused.
Those are TV shows, not channels.
What's on Flo right now? Well, you know, I'm really interested in learning about this cult. It sounds really cool.
It's amazing.
So I'm gonna just try to, I want to learn more about it, throw myself into it, and then I'll be down in the woods and I'll be eating cheesesteaks with you, Ronnie, and you, Jen.
Yeah,
I am fucking terrified right now.
It's gonna be awesome.
Like I learned so much. Trenton.
And let me tell you something. I don't know your name, Tony Robbins, or anything up in the front. But they got this place. It's called Yogiville, and like you go in there, and these people live in a giant lotus. And it's in North Carolina, so you should know where it is, Tony
How could they
Robbins.
live in a lotus?
They do. They live in a big lotus flower, and you got to watch a video.
Are you talking about bees?
No,
No one lives in a giant lotus flower.
they really do. And you got to watch a video before you go in there, because like it's imperative how you interact with these people, because they like don't look on the outside, and because they're like all peaceful and quiet and stuff like that. Yeah.
I just want to take a moment to say, if this was a character, it would be brilliant. All right? The fact that none of this is made up
No.
is shocking
Yeah.
and scary still after all these years.
And right down the street, you got a place in Northern Virginia called Midgetville, where it's all tiny houses and midgets live. Yeah, little Midgetville. Yep,
Does it say that on a sign anywhere?
it does. And it says if you piss off the midgets, they'll chase your car.
It,
It does.
hold
Don't
on,
piss off
someone
the
look for a
midgets.
calendar and see if this is 2017.
Yeah.
What you two are saying,
You've been to Midgetville?
yeah. It's a community of small people.
Midgets.
Yeah.
Sorry, thanks for correcting me. I'm so politically
They do
incorrect.
embrace the word.
Yes.
So that means all of her other stories must be true.
Oh, yeah.
Told you.
So there is a community. How many people? And they're all small people.
Well, I don't know. I'd have
Midgets.
to cut the number in half.
All right. See?
Look, now you've
See?
been.
I know.
They turn on you.
I know. I'm playing the part of Chris in the story.
Yeah. So how many people do you think live in this community?
I don't know, like 100 or
But
something.
they don't use the name that she said. There's a name to a town.
No,
that
they do. They absolutely, yeah.
And it's an official name.
Yep.
Yes.
Mighty Midgetville.
And did they mention that they'll chase cars? Is that part of their
No one's
motto?
ever really been there. It's urban. I've heard that since I was in school. No one's ever actually been to this place.
Right.
But no one's ever actually been to this place, but everyone knows about it. Everyone knows the town, and they know they have small houses, and they kick you if you go there. But no one's ever been there. No one's seen this place.
I have to go there. I'll be a fucking Amazon.
Yeah,
I am your queen.
We'll take you there to play pickup basketball.
You're like Khaleesi, queen of the midgets.
See, that's pretty good.
Hey. See, everything I say is true. People live. Ron, I'm gonna tell
Wait,
you
hold
something.
on. I was just thinking how many different ways I could kill myself. I'm up to hanging right now. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you. See, you live in this bubble of beauty, but there's people living in lotus flowers and tiny midgetvilles, and there's places out there, and people are in the woods eating seaweed. Ron, me and you gotta
Why
go to
would
these
seaweed
places.
be in the fucking woods?
Get out of your midget bubble, Ron.
There's no seaweed in the woods.
They do.
You're just eating weeds.
No. Well, they do that too. And this guy, he organized this thing. It's called Love Light, and he did Woodstock. And like,
Wait, what do you mean he did Woodstock?
He did it. He did it. He did Woodstock.
He's the person who promoted it and produced Woodstock.
He created it.
What's the?
He's a shaman.
No, Michael Lang is the guy who came up with Woodstock.
No, he's a shaman. That guy's
No, this-
lying. The shaman did it. And it was 69, right? It's 69 to Woodstock, right?
Yes.
Yeah. See,
That's the
how,
first
how
thing
would
I
I
agree
know
with.
that?
Oh yes, how would anyone know what date of Woodstock was?
I know. So like, but now it's like, cause Woodstock was yoga, but like it was like with weed and
What
stuff.
are you
But now
talking about? It was yoga. It was
a
rock
yoga
and roll.
festival?
no, it was rock and roll, but it was weed and spirituality and yoga. And now we're just taking the weed out of it because you can't smoke what? You can't smoke weed anymore.
What do you mean you can't smoke weed anymore?
You can't. I mean, you could smoke weed, but now it's like not as politically correct.
I thought
It's more politically correct than it's ever been. This is the first time in
No,
history
no.
people can comfortably smoke weed.
No, because
There are people in D.C. smoking weed with their blinds up.
No,
I
but-
never thought I'd make it to this point in my life.
no, because everybody wants to eat. Dude, they got bottled water. They got bottled water. You can't eat bologna and cheese. Everything has got to be organic for your good body. Ron, and let me tell
Oh,
you
don't
something
tell me
else.
anything else.
No,
I'm
this is
begging
gonna
you.
totally blow your mind. Erection pills.
Oh, Jesus.
Go on.
First of all, after hearing you today, I'll need 50.
If you can't get an erection, my friends, it's because you have heart problems. And so then you take Viagra, and where's all that blood gone? Right to your penis. So then you're going to have a heart attack, but you'll be fucking. And then they give you the warning on TV, but the pharmaceuticals, they want to make some money off your penis. So there you go. Boom, drop the mic. I know, mind blown, right? I know you don't think about this stuff, do you?
There's not one thing that you've talked about today that I've ever thought of before. There's not a
amazing.
single thing. This feels like psychosis. Seriously.
It's like Nirvana. Like the
band?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like some Kurt Cobain.
It really is like Kurt Cobain. Now, people are wondering why I moved from D.C. to New York.
I'm moving to New York.
This is the exact reason. I had a stalker.
Certainly did. I remember the first time.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The first time I sent a pizza to your studio.
Say that word again.
Pizza.
Okay, thank you.
It's pizza. Yeah. And then you said, what friend sent me this pizza? And I whispered in the radio, we will meet soon, my friend. We will meet soon. I will see you soon. And then little by little, I would call. And one day, I called the radio station. And Ron said, you want some NASCAR tickets? And I said, I don't want those. He says, of course you don't. Why not? But dome.
But dome?
Yeah.
Okay.
But now I'm a writer and I'm a yogi. And then
Wait a minute, you're not a yogi.
Yeah, I'm a yogi.
Wait, you're at the top of this organization?
I am. You know what? I got certified as a yoga instructor. So if you come to my yoga class, we can have some beer, and they do that in the Carolinas too, and some yoga and smoke some weed, and then whatever you do.
Into the weed. Now you're back into the weed.
Now I'm back in. Like I won't smoke it. But if you want to smoke it, do yoga, because they do shrooms and stuff there too, because they got to talk to God. And in order to talk to God, they got to get on the next
Am I
level.
doing shrooms right now?
No.
Did I forget that I took shrooms?
See, this is the yogi lifestyle. This is.
Oh, I didn't know this. We're all living the
We're in
yogi
it.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
So, do you
This
have
is-
to achieve yogi? Do you have to move up?
In my heart.
Okay, in
in
my
my
heart.
life. But because I didn't even, I stumbled on that. Because I was all over the place, believe it or not.
No.
Yeah. And I was just looking to rent a room to teach some music to some kids.
All right, so let's just stop there for a
Yeah.
second. You wanted to teach music to children.
Yes.
Do you know music? Do you play any instruments?
No.
Thank you. Just stop right there. Why would someone who is not a musician, has no musical background, think I need to find a room so I can take a skill that I don't have and pass it on to people?
Because in my head, I thought maybe if I bought some bells and was get a mommy group and ringing the bells, and people would pay $15 a person to come ring some bells with their kids, because people are all into their kids and stuff. But it didn't work. And so
No.
yeah.
That didn't work.
Nope, nobody showed
No one
up.
wanted to give $15 to ring a bell next to their kids?
For an hour. For an hour. And I will give you a bottle of water I got at Costco, too, that said,
All right, hold on.
go ahead.
What makes you think no one knows how to ring a bell?
The little babies.
All
And
right,
the
so-
mamas. And we say, ring the bell, ring the bell.
No, all right, what?
We are
Why?
happy.
No, wait, now just imagine you paid $15.
Yeah. That's what you do when you come in. And I had a clown costume, too. I invested.
Why did you get the clown costume?
Because you got to get that kid's attention. Be like, look, I'm in the clown. Although I didn't think most kids hate clowns. But I forgot about that part. So it was
They were
scary.
terrified.
Yeah.
I think closer, most kids hate you.
they love me.
Yeah, I'm sure they would.
They do.
I'm sure
I'm
they
like
do.
a big cartoon character.
No.
I am.
So you thought that you would be able to
Buy a franchise.
buy a franchise
I
from
did.
who? Somebody sold you a franchise?
Yeah. That's what happened. They don't laugh at me because they
It's
told
too
me.
late.
I left out that part. They told me it was going to be easy. They said, listen, you give us $20,000 and then I'll give you some bells. You just charge them $15 and bring the kids in. I'm like, all right, okay. So I took out a loan still paying it. And then I'm like,
Of course you are.
Yeah. And then so I rented a room in the yoga studio, and so I saw, and so the lady was like,
Well, you know, before we even get to you and your yoga,
okay,
this weird idea isn't even yours.
no,
You spent 20 G's.
it was in the back of a book.
All right, what book? There's a bell ringing clown book.
It was like I wanted to look smart, so I picked up one of them business magazines.
All right, so you pick up a business magazine.
Yeah.
And something strikes your eye.
It was easy.
Yeah.
Ring a bell.
Yes. That's why I wondered why you thought the need to give somebody else $20,000.
She's like, I can ring bells?
Yeah. That's why I told the woman on the phone. I was like, I could do this. She was like, you got musical talent? I'm like, yeah.
So then she tells you take out a loan to
For
get this
$20,000, yeah. And so I was like, all right.
What was the name of your business?
ABC Do Re Mi. I know.
Good. I think that's good.
That was
love
it. Yeah, it was awful.
And how much money did you bring in?
Nothing.
All right. And you're still paying up to 20 G's.
Yeah, I'm up to 18 now.
If only that cigarette pack iPhone thing had worked out.
See, but I keep searching for that one idea. Because you know what I think?
I don't know anything you think.
I gotta be on this planet for some kind of existence, right?
No.
No? Nothing?
There's no reason you're here, honey.
There's gotta be a reason.
There isn't.
I got a lot of ideas.
No, you don't even have one. You didn't even come up with the ringing the bell for a baby idea. That wasn't yours.
What about the
You
plans?
bought that for $20,000. You took the dumbest idea I've ever thought that you thought of, except you went further and gave somebody 20 G's for that dumbness.
Here you go. Like on the laces of the shoes, that little plastic thing. What's it called? The Atlet or whatever that thing is called?
Eyelet?
Eyelet?
Something like that.
Yeah, Phineas and Ferb wrote a song about it. And then somebody thought about that. Somebody said, I gotta put a plastic thing on the side of the shoes, and what? They're a gazillionaire. So I thought maybe
Right, because that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And your idea was nuts.
Yeah. But I thought it was nuts enough where it was gonna work. Like, I watched that Steve Jobs documentary, and I'm like, I can do that.
No, you
I can
can't.
drop out of college.
Yeah, that you can do.
I can make people happy. Nah.
You scare people.
So then the lady was like, you want to try yoga? And I'm
Was it
like,
the same lady
nah,
that you owe the 20 G's to?
no, this is a different lady.
So you just thought, I'll get a yoga studio, and that's where I can get people to ring bells.
Yeah.
And you tried it once, and not a single person showed up.
No, I sat in a room by myself.
So while you were sitting there by yourself, someone else came and charged you money.
Yeah.
You're unfucking believable.
Yeah.
Where were you when I was a carny? I'd be retired right now. I didn't know that you could fucking have a rube fucking pay you in time. It's unbelievable.
Because the guy came in, he was like, you using this room? And I'm like, well, no, nobody showed up. He was like, you give me $15, you can take my class. And I'm like, all right, here's another
Jesus
$15.
Christ.
But he started standing on his head and doing backflips, and I was like, oh, shit. And then I was like, oh, I could try this. And I started falling on my head, and then they have tea lights all around the room, right? Caught my hair on fire.
Let me see if I'm shocked. Nope, not even slightly. Absolutely believe it.
And in yoga, you're not supposed to disturb anything. So I smell smoke. And I was trying to keep it cool. And somebody yelled out fire. And I started smacking my head. And I'm like, it's all cool. I'm on fire.
You did not want to put your hair out because you thought you would disturb the class.
Yeah.
She's trying to achieve oneness and balance.
Yeah. Yes. I was trying to be considerate to other people. But yeah, man, it didn't happen.
I wonder how many people that take yoga with you are like, she's so considerate.
Nobody. That, you know what? People, some people hate me in that class. Yeah, they do.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, because you know what? We were on the 3rd floor, and the one guy opened up the window. He started yelling out the window. I said, hey, brother. I said, you live in a row home? And he says, no. I said, well, you act like you want to yell out the window like that. I know.
You got him.
Because you got to have respect, man.
What, people in row homes don't have respect?
Yeah. No, you can't square me up. I mean, you know. You can.
If you're just tuning in right now, this is real. It's not a sketch. Crazy Jen is here. She's written 2 books. One, what's the first one? This was the first one, Jen?
I do not want this on my plate. And they won't put it on Barnes & Nobles because my book's too skinny. I only got 3 pages because they won't put it on the side.
How many pages is Barnes & Noble demanding right now?
At least 10.
Those slave drivers.
That's what I said. I called Barnes Nobles in New York. I said, I want to do a book signing. She was like, how many pages you have? I said, 3. She said, no. I said, y'all are snobs, man.
Yeah. But you called up and said, I want to do a book signing.
I did. That's how it works usually? In Times Square.
Yes.
Yeah. Because on these books,
yeah,
like, I co-published them because, like, no.
What'd that cost you?
$3,000.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But, yeah.
And you plan on taking none of the profits?
None of the profits, no.
You're going to at least get your 3 G's back?
No.
Of course not.
No.
Why would you? You just wasted on something else.
Because now I'm a yoga teacher.
And what's your second book?
My abuela is sick.
Yeah. And did abuela die at the end?
Abuela did, no, not in the book, because then I would have to write another book about what death is, and I didn't feel like writing no more because I got no more money.
Who's got time for another 3 pages?
I know.
Life is short.
Listen, the sequel, Mi Abuela es Muerte.
Exactly.
Is that Spanish? That's good.
So.
That's really good.
Yeah.
But I don't understand how that guy John Grisham writes some books all the time, because these books, 3 pages, that took me like 6 months.
Really?
No, 9 months.
I appreciate her honesty.
I had to get the spelling right.
That's what yoga's done to her.
When
she's honest.
Yeah, when she's caught, she will come clean.
I will. It didn't take me that long, but Ronnie, I gotta keep throwing crap against the wall because something will
You know
stick.
who else does that? Monkeys. Monkeys throw shit against the wall. Why don't you actually just get a job, honey?
But you know what? I did do that too.
Yeah.
You know what I do?
Oh.
I'm a substitute teacher. I was, why y'all grown like that? Y'all sound like the kids that I teach. I walk in the classroom. I walked in the middle school, right? Or no, it was the high school. And I thought it was going to be like Dead Poets Society. And I was going to be like Robin Williams. And I was like this. I was like, hey, my name's Miss B. How you doing? They're like, sup. And then they sat down. And then now I know why they made that movie, The Substitute. The one where like they take everybody out. Them kids are bad. They have phones in them classrooms. You know that?
That is bad.
And they call people. And they call.
And what do they call their mom and say, help me?
Yeah.
There is a lunatic who has taken over the public school system. What were you hoping to teach them?
You know
How to ring a fucking bell for 20 G's?
Let me tell you something. I found the trick. Because when you're an adult, they believe what you say. So I go into science.
How old are these kids?
What? Like some are 13, some are 10. It depends what I'm teaching. Like I was teaching science, right?
Wait,
and then
say that again, just so I can let that sink in.
I was teaching science.
Thank you. Got it now.
And I brought in my 1995 Bill Nye the Science Guy video.
Smart.
I know. And they're like, is this guy dead yet? And I'm like, nah, man, Bill's the man. And so this one kid, he had the water bottle, and he was pouring like this Kool-Aid packet in there. And I was telling him, I was like, listen, in the 80s, we had real Kool-Aid. We didn't have your fancy stuff. And he was ignoring me. And I'm like, Juicy Juice. I was like, come here. Cause I don't know these kids' names. And they're like, what's up, Subway?
Why'd they call you Subway?
They call me Subway.
Because you were eating a sandwich?
Because I was eating gummy bears. They call me Subway. And then
why?
I don't know. They're crazy. Because I'm a substitute teacher. Yeah, and they call me Subway. Yeah. And then they always have to use the bathroom. I gotta use the bathroom. I'm like, no, man, you guys sit down. They're like, I'm gonna pee myself. I go ahead. Then they don't come back.
Oh, well, I've got to go to the bathroom right now.
No. I know that trick.
We'll be right back. This is Bennington. Thanks, sir.
Raw Dog Comedy. Sirius XM 99 and on the Sirius XM app.
It's the Bennington Show in DC. Yeah, how much do you just love this room?
I love this room. I love the studio. And I love my new mentor, Crazy Jen.
Don't say that. Not even as a joke.
You're my new best friend.
Oh my God!
I love you.
I feel like we're sisters.
I do too.
Yeah.
She's out there. She's teaching the kids. It's like Dangerous Minds too.
Oh, and I'm going into the prisons too. I'm taking it to the prisons next.
Are you seriously going to go into prisons?
Yeah, in April, I'm going to take a training in Connecticut.
How much is that going to cost you?
What's that set you back? Yeah. And then what happens?
And then I go into the Columbia prison in Maryland, and I teach the inmates yoga.
I am willing to bet, and I'll put down $1,000 that you will never get raped in prison. It will not happen.
They will so run away from this old stuff, Ronnie. It's got dust balls in it.
Oh, no.
I'm just telling you, it's not.
Don't make me make an image.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's.
But can I just say this? And I said this at the beginning. I've been doing radio forever. You're the best caller I've ever met in my life. Yes, because you're real. Unfortunately, you are 100% real. But you have an energy and a kindness that's just unbelievable. You really do.
I'm just.
God, you can applaud for that. Yeah. I mean.
Well, I just want to say, anybody out there who is a heroin addict and have a young mother, this is what you're going to get. So, product of my environment.
Wait, your dad was a heroin addict?
Yeah, he was an addict, and my mom, she was a waitress in a cocktail bar.
Please don't sing,
God,
honey.
she has a beautiful singing
Now,
voice.
Never a lesson.
Now, I didn't know this about you, but you know, Chris Stanley, his dad was also a heroin addict.
Oh, was your dad an addict too? Yeah.
Love it.
Your
Now-
dad.
Oh, wait, I just thought of this. Gail's dad.
You guys,
That's awesome.
I smell a sitcom.
Yeah. I'm the only person here who had a good father.
Our dads love drugs and our dads do drugs.
I like it. I like it though. But I mean, I love my addict father. I don't know where he's at. He might be dead or something like that. But you know.
You haven't seen him in a long time?
Not since I was 17. Just because he's still got that addict frame of mind. He got hit with a Pepsi truck, and then he had a lot of money. and then he blew it all, and then he wanted to come live with me. And I'm like, brother, what about when you got hit with the Pepsi truck? I couldn't get no money?
Right.
Yeah, because he wanted to get cigarettes and, like, buy a Cadillac and, like, get hookers and stuff like that.
Yes, he was investing it.
He was investing. You know? He's a smart guy.
Yeah, he doesn't blow his money the way you do, Jen.
See, he needs to get into franchises like me.
Yeah. Well, let me just say this, though. You're completely unlike anyone I've ever met
That's
in
bad.
my life. No, it isn't.
You sure?
No, it's you're the best Jen that there possibly could be. There's no one, you know what I mean? And you always are looking for life to be better and to better yourself. And now that you're going into prisons, if they just lock the door one night, society will be safe.
You know what, Ronnie? For real, for a minute, I thought I had Asperger's, and I went and got tested, and I
just
don't
leave
have
it at that. No.
I don't.
What made you think that you had Asperger's?
Because there's like, I get these ideas, and like I do stuff, and like I drag pickles along with me, and like, and then I thought I was bipolar.
All right, let's stop.
Because nobody thinks like me. They call me raw, and I'm like, what does that mean? I'm raw. And they're like, can I give you one story? I'm gonna give you a story. Listen, I was over at Wawa, right, when they had that big snowstorm. Yeah. And so I was there, and this man, he was honking his horn at me. He was like, fuck you, fuck you. And so I told him, I said, roll down your window. And he rolled down his window. I said, why I gotta do that to myself? He said, what? I said, why you telling me to go fuck myself in my pussy? And then he said, cause you were in my way. I said, so I gotta go fuck myself? He says, I'm sorry. And he rolled back up his window and he went along. But who does that unless you're retarded?
No, let me just take a moment to say thank you for that story.
Very well.
I don't think that you're supposed to, when someone says fuck you, you don't need to take it that literally. You don't have to picture it and then explain how it would take place.
And then mime it out.
Yes.
As you do
I
it.
think you were just finger blasting yourself, if we're going to be honest.
But here's the thing. People get in their cars and they get like this like big like door. Like this ego thing. Like if I was in the elevator I bumped into, you wouldn't be like, go fuck your mother. No. You'd be like, excuse me, move on.
Mm-hmm. So this is so fucking heavy what you're doing for us now, Jen.
It's all
Thank
yoga.
you.
Not
Right.
in South Carolina go, y'all do crazy shit out there. I don't know what you do.
I don't know why you keep bringing Anthony Robbins back into this.
That's Tony Robbins right there.
What's that?
He looks just like Tony Robbins. He got
He
that
looks
big.
nothing like him.
He's got to be a motivational speaker or a salesman or something like that.
Might have to get into that.
Yeah, what do you do, sir?
I'm in sales. I work
Yeah,
for 3M.
told you.
Yeah, a lot more
Yes,
boring.
you
Fucking
told
sales.
I'm
us.
going into motivational speaking.
Yeah.
now.
Are
After
you?
this, immediately.
Yes.
You've inspired me as well.
Because your smile's too bright. You got tooth whitener or something.
Here's
It's
what,
beautiful.
well, it's teeth whitener outside of Trenton, but,
Just for the 1 2. The one is clean.
you know, Jen, you should go and be whatever the opposite of a motivational speaker is, because these people aren't even going to go to work tomorrow after hearing you today.
I was going to be a life coach. That's not good.
No, it's wonderful.
It's awesome, right? I
Yeah.
teach people how to live their lives, do like yoga and like eat pizza and like be happy you're fat and stuff like that.
Happy that you're fat is
'Cause
what
not-
the joy of yoga is.
No, yoga, you could be fat and do yoga and be happy and eat pizza and candy and smoke pot and it's all cool. Like you don't have to
Yeah, it
look like
sounds
the
like we don't
commercial.
need you then. We'll just do the stuff we do anyway. And then you don't get our $15 like when we were ringing bells for our babies.
But you give me $15 and I tell you keep going. I'm like, yeah, you're doing good.
Yeah.
And we could do it through Skype. I don't even have to be there.
Like for $15 I can Skype with you?
Yeah.
You know guys are just going to be jacking off in front of the Skype.
To this?
Yeah. Oh. That. See, you're being rough on yourself. Everyone is here is saying we would all masturbate to you.
You would, every one of us.
That's
of
not a
course.
problem.
Y'all are good liars.
Right in our pussy.
Fuck me.
You know, Gail, you're frightening me how well you're able to start doing this.
I'm just glad you're not dropping water on my head. It's a reference to an old show.
Yes, the old water torture bit that went on for 3 hours.
Best show ever.
No, it wasn't. All right.
Sounded like you were in agony.
How, now we have Chris Stanley here. And Chris, have you ever tried yoga?
I've never tried yoga, but my orthopedic surgeon said I'm freakishly nimble. I don't know why.
Wait a minute.
You're nimble?
Why would he say that you're nimble?
Because like he gave me like X-rays, and it says my joints are, because of my parents genetically, I'm really limber and nimble, and that I would be great at yoga.
Oh, that's right. Your parents, you had an octopus and a squid. Now, you actually said that you had to get shoulder surgery because why? You weren't tight enough there?
I wasn't tight enough on my shoulder, and apparently there's something called the labrum, and it got totally destroyed. So that my arms are popping out at random times.
He got Rookie of the Year surgery. You just whip that thing.
First of all, that's an underappreciated movie. By the way, this young lady here just told me she's from Upper Chichester.
Nice.
And that's God's country, ladies and gentlemen. Steps from the birthplace of the hoagie. Fuck you, Philadelphia. I know where it comes from. All right. Now, why don't you feel like you're limber, right?
I'm ridiculously limber.
And nimble. For
Would
some-
you be willing to try some yoga with Crazy Jen?
She could be my yogi, yes. 100%.
All right.
Where's what do you need for a good yoga place here? Could over there work without
yeah.
hurting any of this nice equipment or any of these nice people?
Yeah, that would be great. I need a mic down by his mouth to hear him grunt and groan.
I can hold the mic.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right, and I'm going to get on a train and go back to New York.
This is exciting for
Yeah.
All right. First thing I'm gonna do
Yeah.
is I'm gonna do something. It's called downward dog. Okay.
First of all,
Now
you're
yeah, I
talking
think
to
I
the
learned that
fucking
in
downward
college.
dog right now. Now, by the way, is Pickles here today?
Pickles is here today. He's all the way in the back, hidden. He's got.
There he is.
There
That's
he is.
her husband, Pickles, who normally the Catholic Church waits until you're dead before they make you a saint. But I'm giving him sainthood right now. All right, so what are you going to do with this dog? You going to put him downward?
So first, what I'm gonna do
Yeah.
is I'm gonna see how flexible Chris actually is.
All
Right.
So I'm gonna go over here.
Yes.
Give it to me, Jen.
So I'm putting his arm up just like this, and I'm gonna turn his hand. So can I see Gail? Are you you really flexible?
I don't know. Let's find out.
All right. So yeah. So you tell me when this hurts, okay?
Oh, my God.
Jesus Christ!
Oh,
I did not sign up for this.
yes.
All right,
Go ahead.
I have her hand up in the air,
Yes.
and I'm gonna turn it a little bit to the left.
Okay.
How's that feel?
Feels great.
Feels great. I'm gonna turn a little bit more. How's
Okay.
that feel?
Less great, but not terrible.
Okay. A little bit more. How's that feel?
We're into bad.
We're into bad. Okay. So we have her hand sideways to the left, flat.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're gonna go to Chris to see. Okay.
All right.
Check this shit out.
All right. Chris's hand is flat up in the air.
Yeah, it is.
Now it's over. You gotta loosen up, brother. You got
This is loose, Jen.
to the left.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little bit more. Okay.
So,
Gail is actually more flexible than Chris.
wait, you don't understand. Chris is freakishly nimble.
He is nimble.
Look, I didn't even notice this till now.
Right.
Is all the new junk in the trunk from your yoga?
Oh my God! Some of it's prosthetic.
no, don't lie.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's gummy bear.
Yeah, all right. Because you didn't have that butt when we were down
I
here.
got. You know what? All the boobies went down to the ass.
That's impossible.
Yeah, it
What you
did.
just-
It did.
what
What
you
you do
just-
with all that ass? Now,
What you described doesn't happen.
it does. I got some junk in the trunk.
Wait. I want to take the time just to say we set a record for the slowest twerk in history.
Wait.
There has
I'm
never
gonna give you the
been.
fastest.
Oh my God! You've got the lower back tattoo.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. You didn't see that?
Now what's it? No.
All right. My lower back tattoo
Yes.
says down the rabbit hole.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Now wait. You all say that, and I just want to tell all your dirty minds
Yes.
that I'm a big Lewis Carroll fan. Okay. And when
That has nothing to do with anal.
When I got it and I told him make it as big as you can and by my asshole, did not realize that it was gonna have another meaning. Cause I don't get it. Yeah.
Why did you tell them I need a tattoo near my asshole, as you put it, that said down the rabbit hole?
Because I wanted to feel Lewis Carroll on my back, but I don't.
That's
want
not Lewis Carroll you're feeling back there. That's a stranger's
Now,
cum.
Considering I kind of feel like you're my new mentor,
life coach.
You're my life coach.
Your life coach.
Do you let guys go down the rabbit hole on the first date? I want to find out.
No.
Okay,
It's
good.
you can't
Okay,
put
good.
nothing in the hiney hole. It's only on that because I can't.
Your tattoo tells me different.
That was history.
And what you're explaining now, is this yoga teachings or just your own? All right, let's teach Chris some yoga.
All right,
but
now-
thank you for that Lewis Carroll reference.
Lay down on your back, Chris.
Oh, boy.
Now what?
Oh, wait, Mr. Nimble.
He's just groaned when he took
Just
his knee.
run it.
Now what I'm gonna do?
Oh, my God.
I need you to keep your legs flat. But when
This
I do
looks
this,
like the largest birth in history.
it's downward dog, not dead dog. Now let's flatten out your legs.
Why do you look like you're side pregnant?
Now you have to keep your penis down too. Oh, okay. All right. Now I want you to take your left foot And I want you to bring it over. There you go. All right, I'm going to hand you the mic right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up?
Now, what I'm going to do
Yes.
is I'm going to stick my foot between your leg. Lift up your leg. You got little short legs. I just want to say
Putting
this,
him into
okay?
a figure 4 leg lock. That's a sharpshooter.
Now listen. Now listen. You
Everyone
actually
can stand up. Enjoy yourself.
you
wanna
actually look
see-
like a
yeah.
baby T-Rex. I'm just saying.
It's a compliment.
It is a compliment. Put your arms toward me. All right? Now,
Look at those little arms. Is that right? Those nimble
can you
arms
hold the
are
mic by
tiny.
his hand?
Get your mic right
Yeah.
here. There you go.
Chris, you look like you have hands growing out of your elbows. Is that possible?
Now, do you have any back problems?
Plenty. What are you?
Look
Okay,
at him.
that's great.
He's got back and front problems.
Hold my wrist.
Hold my breast.
No, hold my breast. I will hold yours. Yours are actually bigger than mine.
All right.
You're welcome. Now you're gonna stay flat on the ground, and I'm gonna pull you. All right. Okay.
Do it, Jen.
You ready?
Yeah.
Oh God!
What happened? What is happening?
Oh my back!
Why does that hurt?
It hurts.
Does that hurt? You're supposed to be flexible.
That's what some fucking doctor lied to me about.
All right, wait. Let's try the other side. All right.
All right, hold it, Jen. Jen, we've all seen yoga. This never shows up.
This is in the higher level yoga that they don't show
Started
you.
at the beginning.
But this is like dinosaur yoga. All right.
All right, let's do this.
All right. Grab my arms, T-Rex.
I got you, Jen. Fucking pull.
Yeah.
Are ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh no!
Do you tap? Do you tap out?
It's fucking. Oh God!
How's that feel?
It fucking hurts.
Now look.
Jesus, Jen.
Now this is what we're gonna do next.
Next.
Yeah. You're gonna balance me on top of your feet. Yes.
I can't balance myself on my feet.
You can do this. All right? I'm not scared.
Why are you balancing yourself on his feet?
Because we need to work out his legs. I'm worried about his health. All right.
Whatever you need, doctor.
You ready?
Yeah.
Give me your hands. Oh my God. All right, now, wait. Go down by my vagina a little bit more.
I got your pussy.
We hate to be technical.
You have to position that right. All right, your
Yeah.
shoe, feel the leather.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, good. All right, now
this
push
is
me up.
yoga.
You ready? Push me up. All right. All right, now I'm going to do you. Ready? Get up.
What? Why?
All right. Now,
Jen.
we see how flexible he is, okay?
No, I don't see any of this. This is
All right.
madness.
Now-
This is being made up right now by you.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to balance him on me.
Why?
You see this?
Please don't.
Now-
Please, Jen. I finally found a mentor. I can't lose her now.
This is mind over matter, the body is. All right? I'm going to put my big fat ass up in the air, and you're going to put your big fat feet on it, okay?
All right.
Are you ready? Here we go.
Okay.
Wait, when I tell you when. Cause I got,
Wait, he's going to stand up?
What am I doing?
I'm gonna
It's
show you.
yoga.
I'm gonna show you first. Chris, you go down like this.
Uh-huh. Okay, yeah. All right.
By the way, you did just look flexible then.
So put your feet up in the air.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do.
Now wave them like you just don't care. All right.
I had to do that. That was all.
That's part of yoga, okay? That's part of yoga.
All right. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna take his feet.
What? This is good. They're going rabbit hole to rabbit hole right now, ladies and gentlemen.
I've seen 69s, but I think that was 136 somehow.
That was actually a 33. He owes me.
All right, now.
Okay, so now you're going
What
to
was
reverse
that
roles?
for? That's not anything that you did.
He's gonna go on my back.
Nobody's going on anybody's back.
Just want you to know, this was meant to teach Chris, and he just said, "What did she do to me?"
I couldn't see shit. I just fell fucking on my back.
All right, you ready?
No.
Do you feel better though, Chris?
You know what you're doing.
Now just do the same thing. You turn around and you put your feet on her ass.
How do I put?
Put your hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down.
You're a great teacher,
Yeah.
Jen.
And
Yeah.
then now put.
Ready?
Ah, shit.
shit!
Wait, you gotta come back up, Chris. Wait, and for the people at home, he fell. I stayed up. Come on.
All right, so you won? That's what you're telling us?
The fuck?
All right.
Yeah.
Are you gonna have a heart attack?
I'm fine. My heart's healthy.
Okay.
I don't know, Chris. I'm going to be totally honest. I feel like I'm going to be taking a box on the train. Like they had to take Bobby Kennedy straight up the tracks. People would be singing Glory Hallelujah the whole way.
I'm strong. I'm strong, Ron.
All right.
Flexible.
All right, now look, Chris.
Yes.
The way we're gonna calm this breath down, right?
Yeah.
Is I want you to take a big breath in your belly. Now hold it till I count
Why?
to 40. Ready? Yeah, you could do it. This is gonna be great radio. You could do it. You could do it. Ready? If
You gotta
pace
give
out-
me a minute, Jen.
Okay, wait. When you take your breath, Chris,
You're
take
making
it.
up this yoga. It's not
No,
real.
this shit.
I don't think she's a yogi, Rod.
I'm a yogi, man. I'm a yogi. All right, take a breath. Ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Come on, muscle man. 4. Now close your nose up, cheater, pumpkin eater. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
What
All
are you,
right.
this is
All right,
tobacco?
he's gonna pass out.
He's going to pass.
He's gonna pass out. This is something that happens. They do pass out. Now wait, can we get that other guy? What's that other guy's name? Louis.
Yes, let's get Louis.
Louis, come in here.
Louis
Come here,
C.K.
Louis. Now I'm gonna show you. He was supposed to be a good yogi. This guy
I was great.
This guy, Andre 3000, he could do yoga.
There's no reason to call him Andre 3000.
All right,
There's
are you
no
ready?
resemblance
Yes.
whatsoever.
Will you lay on the floor like him?
Why are you doing any? What is happening? Now, there's no reason.
You don't have to smack me.
Come on, Louis.
Louis,
sir.
Louis, just stay with it.
Why make you jump, Louis? Are you getting excited?
Slap him, Jen.
Yeah, why
Slap
are
him,
you
Jen.
spanking
Why is
this
he? Why?
man?
Wait. Why is? This is one great cult. Okay. Wait.
Give him what he wants, Jen.
See, does that get him excited?
Yes.
Oh, that's
All
right.
right.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
gonna put on a strap on now.
Ready?
You hold yourself.
I'm going down the rabbit hole. All right, Louis. Now we're gonna go the other way. Ready?
What other way?
This way.
Yeah.
Why is this happening?
Here we go. All right.
Well, first of all, look how good she does that.
How long can you hold me up? Now do push-ups. Ready? Here we go. 1.
You're
Come on.
making up
Oh
your
my
yoga.
God. Oh my God.
All right. Now,
He's
Jen-
actually more in shape than this guy.
no shit.
Duh.
Do you feel like it took an expert to tell us Chris Stanley's not in shape? We have eyes. Now,
Kind of hurts, though.
do you think?
I'd like to be his life coach.
No, but do any of these things? Does any other people in yoga do this besides you?
They do.
You're making these up.
No, they do. Now, I'm going to tell you, Chris Stanley.
Yes.
We're going to do something called the tree pose, right?
Fuck is that?
Now,
I think he's ready for this.
he is ready for this. Now,
He's
what
going to sleep like a
happened-
baby tonight in the hospital.
More accidents happen in this country because people fall. And
More accidents happen when they're around you.
because they.
You've taken two guys that aren't in shape, and you're doing some kind of Ringling Brothers fucking shit in here.
Yeah.
None of this is yoga.
But they
this is
feel-
tumbling.
They feel good though, right?
Neither one of them.
Oh, I have a headache.
Oh, you do? That's the impurities coming out of you, Chris. That's what we say in yoga. Cause you
I like the impurities.
All he
man.
has is impurities. There's nothing else there.
I am an impurity.
I care about you. We got to get that evil voodoo juju shit out of you. All right? Now, we're going to have you stand on one leg.
Oh, okay.
All
Which
right?
one?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Now, you don't look like you're too balanced.
I'm not.
So,
Stand here, so
I
So-
kind of feel like
so
the
stand in
teacher's
front.
imbalanced.
now when you stand on one leg, put your hands together, take a breath. Now, put your foot on the side of your leg.
Okay.
How long can you stand for?
Not long?
Not long. So you got to work on that. Now,
Why?
he's got to, Ron. That's like Godzilla going
Wait.
to crush the city, man.
Come on. I'm not a monster.
You
All right,
wanna
hold
stop
on for a
Godzilla
second.
or not?
Why does he have to balance on one leg since he has two? It doesn't seem like this is something he ever needs to do.
Because he's got to practice.
Why?
Because
there's no practical use for what he's doing right
Because
now.
what if he was in a situation where the earth was going to be a big crack in the middle, and then he got to balance it across, and he was like, oh shit, I should have did yoga, because then I would have had a lifesaver. But no, all right, now do the other one. Because you got on that big fat boots. You need some nice little yogi shoes.
Why didn't know what's happening today?
All right, very good.
Chris, why are you only sweating on one armpit? That's
very good.
That's the scary part here.
I think it's a glandular problem.
He has problems with balance.
All right. Can you do back bend?
Sure he can.
Back bend? All right.
Dude, yeah.
All right.
Right now, Chris Stanley is sweating like the cops got him.
He's done.
Wait, let me just reset the table. It's the Bennington Show, and we brought in a world-renowned yogi
expert,
and she writes child books about cancer to frighten children. And you are going to now make Chris Stanley backbend.
I'm gonna make him backbend, then I'm gonna sit on his stomach. Because we need. You know what? Let's get Andre 3000 in here first.
There's no reason to call him that. It's Vito. That's just Vito.
That's Vito.
Yeah.
All right, Vito. What I want you to
The
do.
guy just says that's Vito. I'm in here watching him do push-ups with a woman fucking his neck. I didn't know that was Vito. I didn't know that was him.
It was. Now I want you to lay with your back on the floor. All right, Vito. All right, put your legs up in the air.
Shake him like you just don't
All right,
care.
put him back down. Put your feet on the floor. All right, there you go. Put your hands behind your head. Put them flat. Put your palms flat on the floor.
Dude, if you're going to sit on his face, I'll never stop laughing.
Oh, you don't know. I got to hit Chad now.
Go ahead and do
It's
it.
been a long time.
Well, enjoy it.
All right,
You
now
deserve it today, honey.
Put that. It's my birthday.
Wait,
All right,
is this
now
your
push it
birthday?
up.
Is that your birthday for real?
No, it's not my birthday. It could
Okay.
be if he lets me sit on his face. All right, push it up. You ready? All right, you got it. Bring it up.
What is he doing? There's no reason for this.
He look. All right, how you feel, man?
Awful.
Oh, did you?
You
hear
got to
something?
understand something. He just lost his Obamacare.
Oh, you did? All right, so wait, don't get up yet, because we got to grab your toes. Grab your toes.
This isn't real. What
This
you're
is real.
doing.
Now, I want you to grab your other toes so I can see your hiney. What the fuck? All right, now look. Come get a picture this way, honey. Come here. Get a picture this way. This way. Yeah. Come on, Vito. All right, now, go ahead. I want you to rock back and forth like a baby.
It's like
There you go,
like watching a rhino give birth. Why are you rocking him like a baby?
Because this is going to massage his hiney hole. All right.
No, she's going to do that with her hands.
All right, Chris, you're next. Hiney hole massage.
I'd rather do a back bend.
Can you? Hey, Chris, if you could do a back bend, I'll strip naked and run down this hallway.
Let's do it.
Let's do it,
Dude,
bud. Let's do it.
seriously.
Bud. Bring her on.
What are you doing
He
with
said
Chris?
he could do a back bend. Okay, you could do it.
Chris,
You
do
got
not
it,
hurt
you got
yourself.
All right, ready?
Don't sit on him, honey.
Look, this is like the rodeo.
There's no reason.
Yeah.
Hold on.
That was a life dream.
Yeah, but there's nothing that you're doing that's real. No class teaches this.
But here you go. They change yoga all the time.
No, they don't. No, you're lying.
No.
You're lying right now.
They got Harry Potter yoga. You go in with wands and stuff and all, and hot yoga and.
So everything you did was just to molest these young boys.
Yeah, because that was a fantasy. But listen, if somebody like Yogananda or somebody is listening, they can incorporate that in their practice.
So you just are admitting everything that you did here today was madness. You haven't learned any.
But I have.
Was it real?
But listen.
Come on. There's no relax your asshole. Shake the baby. This is fucking nuts, dude.
This is.
I believed you when you said you were taking yoga.
It did.
Are you actually a dominatrix? Is that what this is?
I'm a dominatrix / yoga instructor / life coach / children author substitute teacher. And then I'll wash dishes if you need me to.
Bell ringer.
But by the way,
Bell ringer.
here's what I asked you to do. Show us some yoga. Instead, you took two fat boys and molested them. I mean, seriously. You did something that was I've never. Why would these two guys let themselves be used like this?
That's gonna be the next my next business. 2 fat boys yoga.
Yeah.
I believed in her.
That's
Ron. I believed in Jen.
And
I'm so sweaty.
Yeah.
The back bend did me in.
And he smells fantastic too, doesn't he?
Thank you. Yeah, smell it.
Yeah. Tree, fat boy yoga.
Do you do any yoga? Do you do anything?
I do. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you my
show
yoga.
us
Ready?
one thing.
That's
by the
real.
way, what is in your back pocket?
My back pocket?
Yeah, there's something very lumpy there.
It was a tissue.
Uh-huh.
But I bring my pendulum with me.
Okay.
Because I have a pendulum, and my pendulum tells the future. It does. It does. It really works. And it's inside there, and it tells me like if Vito's gonna have a heart attack or anything like that.
Let me see your pendulum.
It's in my bag. Go ahead.
All right,
I've got my grandpa's broken watch in there too.
Why is your grandpa's broken watch in there?
Cause he might be dead, but he's not yet. But maybe he is.
All right, what does the pendulum do?
Fucking zombie.
All right. So if it goes around, if it swings around like that in a circle, that means no. If it goes back and forth like that, it means yes.
Right. Has Jen ruined my career? All right.
That says no. It's made. And then I also brought my crystal ball.
Right. Let me see.
It's really a rock, but I call it my crystal ball.
Yeah, you lie about most things. This is where'd you find this?
Outside.
Let me guess. How many thousands of dollars did you pay for this fucking trinket?
I got that in the back of a magazine. So, hey, can I ask you this?
No.
Like, when you take me back to New York, like, what celebrities can I life coach? Cause I gotta make some money.
All right, let me think of everyone I hate, and I will give you their number.
Okay.
But yeah, if you want to come and do this in New York, honey, you will be arrested.
What? No, they don't arrest the gypsies no more. They let them. They practice free, gypsy free.
Do you feel like you're a gypsy?
No, not yet. But I'm working up to it.
No one has to work up to be a gypsy. That's like saying you're planning your homelessness.
But listen, you know what? Can I tell you something?
I've told you no every time, and yet you tell me anyway.
I am also Reiki certified. You know what Reiki certified is? Yeah. Do you know what Reiki is? You want me to do it to you?
No. Now Reiki is where you
transfer my energy to another person, and then I make them feel calm and still. So we had to go through a whole ceremony, a smudging ceremony, to get all the evil spirits and stuff away from me, and it works. And then
how do I get the evil spirit away from me and have her go back and substitute teach?
No.
All right, take a mic over. So you know what Reiki is, correct? Yeah. And you've had it done before?
I have not.
Yeah.
Seen it on the TV.
You feel like, why?
Sure.
You do not, look, you will sue us. You're not, these guys can't. Chris, do not touch her, do not hurt her.
Don't touch them.
Yeah. Could you do it from the other room?
I'm not that powerful yet.
Yeah.
I'm not that powerful yet, but one day I'm going to be powerful. Now listen, I'm going to tell you this. You might see like colors and shapes and like your future and stuff like that. Don't be afraid, because like if the devil comes up, just tell him, go away, go away, go away. All right, I got to rub my hands together. I got to put it up to the sky. Lord Jesus.
There's no Lord Jesus in
Jesus
Reiki.
in Reiki? All right, you ready? Close your eyes. Take deep breaths in. Deep breaths out. Bill, put it to her mouth. Deep breaths in. Deep breaths out.
You're right. That's good. That's good radio.
All right.
I see you touching her. No touch. You don't touch.
But I lightly touch.
Don't lightly touch her.
You want me to just transfer my energy to her without her touching her?
I want you to put her back where she came from. I don't want you to touch a
I
nice
like her.
woman.
I've been looking at her the whole time. She been looking at me. Yeah. All right. Do you feel the energy transferring? You feel something, don't you?
Many things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You feel that? You're shaking a little bit. That means that you had trouble at home. Do you have trouble at home? Yeah, you do. See, that's why you're giggling. Yeah, I told you my psychic energy is coming out too. Wait, I gotta try. Okay. Mm-hmm. Is it your mom?
Is it your mom's having trouble? Yeah.
What are you doing?
It's your mom. See? Yeah, it is your mom. I knew it. Okay, wait. I'm feeling your mom on you. So let me keep rubbing it. Keep rubbing it. This is good. Are you going to hit me?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, I'm enjoying this. You're doing a great job.
Okay, thank you. That was her husband or I don't know. No, that's not. Is it your brother?
Mm-mm.
Okay, West Virginia?
You're really good at this, Jen.
Okay. Wait, I'm
being able to read people.
Now listen, I'm going to get some more information from her, right?
Yeah.
Is your mom sick?
No.
Your mom's not sick. Is she sad?
No.
Is she dead? No, it's your dad's problem then, right?
Many.
Oh my God. You're just nosy. You don't read anything. Put her back.
Now wait, I gotta take off her shoes and massage her.
No. Let her go. Let her go. Look.
But I'm not strong enough to get the whole connection.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Give it up.
Wait. You applauded that.
That was beautiful. Now I got all your bad energies in me.
By the way,
Good.
if you got a couple extra minutes, come over here and Reiki my cock and balls. Because that's all the Reiki would be good for.
Is your mom okay? Is she sad?
Let that energy out all over my face. Spill it on my face.
No, but listen, and then aim for the rabbit hole. That's the thing. Listen, when you're a yogi too.
Oh yes.
You can't have an orgasm as a woman. The men, yeah, you can't because you be letting your stuff out and then your energies will come out. But the men, they have different energies, so they can let that stuff out.
Do not stop believing your teacher,
Yeah,
Jen.
that's the truth. That's the truth.
That's what they all say.
And Star Wars was all based off of yoga. Yup. Yoga.
Yoda.
Yoda.
Yeah.
I know.
Dumb as shit she is.
Is it dumbness or brilliance that I just kind of wrapped it around your mind?
dumbness.
Good point. She has a point.
Dumbness.
Yeah, see?
I'm going to stick with dumbness. So, first of all, I feel like you're making up all these things that you said you've learned. Everything
Wow.
you did to Chris and Andre 3000 was made up.
Yeah.
And Reiki does not work as some kind of weird Long Island fucking bullshit read the future. You're just supposed no one says I can read who is sick in your family from Reiki.
But I got a different. I took a different. It was the Reiki was taught differently because the lady says she's throwing some telepathy in there for extra $100. I know. And then tarot reading, but I couldn't afford that. That was extra 50. So I just pretend to tarot read people.
Yes, and you pretend to teach yoga, and you pretend to do all this.
Look how cleansed Chris looks.
This is just dirty sweat. I am not cleansed at all.
It's all your impurities, brother. Look, take some water, jug it down. I just fixed you.
My back is killing me, Ron.
Oh,
The back
that's-
bend.
that-
There's no way I'm fucking getting home.
Is it killing you or are you healed?
No, killing. There's pain.
This was an incredible waste of time, and I really believed in you. I thought that you did know yoga. Since
I do.
You told me that. But why would you have made up these things?
No. The down dog, all that's real. But see, Chris said that he was bi. Like he, like, no.
I'm so glad you finally came out.
That
Here's
he
the
could
thing.
go both ways. That he could bend back and forth because he had these incredible joints. So he lied.
I was lied too.
He lied, but I fixed him. But I kind of did? No.
No.
I think you learned a lot, though, Chris. Don't
No,
you?
I have a headache and I'm sweating very much.
See, but that's good because I need you to work out. I need to be your life coach. What do you think about that?
That will never happen.
Let her be your Belichick. You are Tom Brady.
We
and
put it like
she's
that.
Belichick.
What if it was maybe SiriusXM pay for Chris to go out in the woods, learn something, do a little retreat?
Oh my gosh, I would love. Would you go with me?
Dude, if you walk into the woods with Crazy Jen,
You will be so safe.
you will never have to fucking prove your bravery again. people would come back from Afghanistan and hand you their medals and said, there is nothing as frightening as what you just did.
The PTSD could be worth it.
No, you'll never come out again.
See, in yoga, that we'd be in the woods, Chris, and we'd be snuggling, but it won't be like sexual or anything like that because it's yoga. Because like you got to learn how to get in people's spaces, but not like be turned on or
But not,
anything
like,
like that.
Right.
And because you eat like burgers and stuff all the time, you got to eat some kale and some seaweed and stuff like that.
You
brother.
just told us that you eat hoagies and you eat pizza.
No, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about him.
Oh, yeah, he's got to change.
Yeah, he's got to change, not me.
Oh, yeah, I'm on your side 100% then.
He's got to eat the kale.
Right. And while you're eating cake.
Yeah, but that'll teach him some self-control there. You know, because I'll be like, yum, yum, and I'm like, eat your kale. It's like that Karate Kid training, like wash on, wash off.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, when I do that.
Yes, he said wash on, wash off.
Wash on, wash off.
Yeah.
And then Chris goes into the fight, and it is back to
By the way, what's the last movie you saw that really meant something to you?
Karate Kid.
Karate Kid.
Karate Kid.
1986 was Karate Kid.
No.
Which you just misquoted. Go ahead, spit it out. Spit it out, Gil. Don't choke yourself. Yeah.
I just didn't see that coming.
Yeah. Karate Kid.
Wash on.
Right.
The last one I saw, it was see this guy go to his yoga training. His name is Max Strom. God bless you, Max, and please let me in your yoga training again after I say this. But he made all kinds of Steven Seagal movies, and I like.
What's one Steven Seagal movie Max Strong made?
Max Strom.
Oh, Max Strom.
Yeah, Max
Okay.
Strom. It was like Fighter and Fighter 1 and Fighter 2 and Fighter 3.
Right. So he had Fighter, and then the second one he called Fighter 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then the third one was Fighter 2.
Yeah.
And then the last one is Fighter 3.
And then-
now, by the way, has anyone seen any of these Max Strong classes?
Yeah, look up Max Strom, you'll see that. And then a couple
Don't
years
act
later.
like we don't have phones right here.
Oh yeah, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then he made Street Fighter like 5 years later. But then he
So
said,
you took a class with
yeah.
Max, yeah.
And then he knows something called Kijong.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think that's what it's called, but it's like some kind of fighting or something. And he teaches you how to breathe,
Mm-hmm.
not from your stomach, because you know you don't actually breathe from your stomach. It's your diaphragm. Did not know this. You didn't put air in your stomach.
I didn't know that anyone thought that you did.
Yeah. Are you fit for a diaphragm? Yeah. And you know.
First of all, I'll pay for any fucking diaphragm that she wants.
Yeah.
Tubes tied, fucking vagina taken away, whatever it takes. I want to do this before they stop Planned Parenthood.
And and Max Strom said we're the only mammals besides whales that hold their breath.
Wait, hold on.
No
so
other
a dolphin doesn't hold its breath.
No.
What do they
That's
do?
not
They
a
do-
mammal, that's a porpoise.
No, a dolphin is a mammal.
No, that's a porpoise, ain't it?
A porpoise is also a mammal, but it's not a dolphin.
All right, then, a whale and... Well, ain't that in the whale family, then?
No. Oh, in the whale family is its baby, the baby whale.
Ron, she teaches science.
All right, so then... Because I thought that was in
She teaches science the way she does yoga.
Because they believe me, because then they go and Googling and stuff. All right, so the whale and the... Okay, I thought they were related somehow.
You thought that a dolphin was a baby whale.
Yeah, because like they trapped the whales and the dolphins in SeaWorld, and they had blackfish, and everybody like free them, and everybody saw it. Okay. But,
Yes, you could put a lot of things in a net. That doesn't make them whales. Like you could put an octopus in a net. It's
no,
not a whale.
That's like that. What is that? Like a tentacle
I could put a
thingy.
basketball in a net. And you wouldn't be like, look, he just dunked a whale.
If it was a big basketball, you could say I made a whaler.
You got me. You know, when you're right, you're right.
But no other mammals besides a dolphin. Now I know it's not a porpoise. And
Why
the
were you
whale,
quoting porpoise?
and the whale holds his breath. So
you're saying that if I put a cat underwater, a cat wouldn't hold its
won't
breath?
hold its breath. Nope,
Yeah.
you'll drown it.
Yes.
And then, yup, and the dog will drown it. But a human will hold his breath.
Right.
But what people, and little babies, they breathe from their chest or lungs. But for whatever reason, adults breathe just from the diaphragm, and that's why we have so much trouble breathing.
Didn't you tell us to breathe from our diaphragm just a moment ago?
No, but you gotta go up from your diaphragm to your lungs, so your chest is out.
You got to stop doing this.
You gotta go back and forth. You gotta like twerk when you breathe. You say,
stop it.
It's like the
Stop
club.
what you're doing. All right, sit down. So all these things you're learning now in your new...
Yeah, because I didn't know, like, when they said, you're going to take a breath class, I was like, I know how to fucking breathe. And they was like, no, really, you don't. You got to learn it.
By the way, what did that cost you?
$600.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's changed my life. Like when
I can see that.
But can I ask you?
No, please don't.
This is a good question for you.
Mm-hmm.
When a woman's in labor, right?
Oh Jesus!
They tell them to breathe, right?
Yes.
Because the woman's in pain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why do they not tell anybody else to breathe in the hospital because they're in pain? It's not like some magical thing that this woman's doing. So when you breathe through the pain to get better.
So if you think that if someone gets shot with a bullet, we go over them and say, "Don't breathe."
No, you tell them to do that breath like that, because that's the fire breath, and the fire breath that gives you energy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you slow it down, bloop, 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 that's the fish breath, and the fish breath brings you down. So you could either do the fire or the fish. Right now, you look like you want to do the fire breath on me.
Right now, I'm wondering if I can put a belt around my neck. Where can I hang myself? Because I'm losing. Seriously, you're making me lose the will to live.
So I want to know when I can come on the show and then meet
Tuesday. Tuesday, you can come on the show.
Because I want to teach some of these yoga experts, like Baptiste and stuff like that. And hot yoga, if you do hot yoga, that's 175 degrees. Your mat is like a slip and slide.
But this is all interesting stuff, Jen.
It's crazy, man.
Yes.
But that's why we're so unhealthy in this country.
Because our mats aren't hot enough?
Because we're designed to move as human beings, and we're on our phones all the time.
Oh, my God.
No, seriously, listen to this.
And you got Twitter.
And you got Twitter and anxiety, and we're not moving, and we're having heart problems, and then the pharmaceutical company is making a ton of money.
Right, Big Farm, right?
Big Farm, yeah.
Right, Big Farm.
So
but we need to be listening to you, not our doctors and pharmacists.
Exactly.
We should listen to a crazy woman who just had two fat guys on the edge of a heart attack.
But look, he's good now. He's sweating. He's good. When's the last time you moved since that? 1962.
I wasn't even born then.
Well,
how old do you think I am?
Jen, let's just say, because we got to wrap this up soon.
All right.
Let's see you make one yoga move, which is what started this. Let me see something that you've learned that's going to blow our minds.
Are you ready?
Yes,
Here we go.
I've been ready for an hour now. Now, what does Vito got to do? Put his face in your ass, or what has to happen?
All right. This one is called the crow. And
Yeah.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to define gravity. She's going
Wait a minute,
to
stop.
define it for you. Hold on, let her define it. I'm going to define gravity.
Ladies and gentlemen, all these years, no one has been able to define gravity.
Yeah.
But a genius is amongst us.
I know.
And she will define gravity.
Are you ready? I'm gonna take my big ass. I'm gonna put my big ass up in the air, and I'm gonna float my whole body up in the air.
You're going to float.
I'm gonna float.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are defining gravity as we speak.
Here we go. All
right.
All right. You put your hands flat on the floor. You don't get scared that you're gonna fall on your face because Vito's gonna kick you in the ass. And then you lean forward, and then you put both feet up in the air, and you bounce. There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Gravity defined. I feel like I should be on Wicked. Defining gravity.
when I was younger, that was called a girl's push-up. Today, we call it defining gravity.
It's defining. That's what I call it in the yoga school.
Right.
Now, can I ask who's coming to my yoga festival? Are you coming to my yoga festival?
All right.
All right. Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
Almost 4 rubes are ready
Yeah, 4 roofs. It's great.
to follow you.
This is gonna be fun, man. I'm gonna have my own cult, like Charlie Manson, but like without the killing and stuff like that. It's gonna be like this. Is gonna be
I think
like
it's gonna be
good stuff.
just like Charlie Manson.
And Gail and I will be the Tate and LaBianca families heard screaming in the canyons, only to be found with a fork in our pregnant bodies and the words piggy and helter skelter written in our own blood.
And I want to give Gail a present.
Oh my God.
Oh, no.
I do. I got this. They made this at Yogaville.
Right.
And they're beads. And they crafted the beads all themselves. And I put all my energies and my sweat in there. Yeah.
Oh, that's the odor.
Yes.
So you got to put it on because now you're going to be protected because New York, that's a dangerous place, Gail, and you're going to be like Dorothy in Kansas, and I can't have anything happen to you.
Right. Now,
Because she's so beautiful.
And with the thoughts that you'll be thinking, you could be another Lincoln.
If I only had a Gail.
Oh, my God.
Picture me with
stop.
Galilee.
We're getting to that point where it's just all breaking down.
She's ready for her
Yes.
nap.
I can think like Gail I never thought before.
Yes.
And then I think about Gail
Terrified.
a little more.
This will be a reoccurring nightmare, I assure
Now,
you.
the bad thing is, right before the show today, I did 2 hits of acid. And I honestly couldn't tell you whether it kicked in or not. There is no difference.
This is real, brother. We're back. We're back, baby.
You know what?
Together forever. You and me, like Frankie.
Did someone give you sugar?
No.
Because you got really weird.
No, I feel like Frankie Valli and the team came back. Like it's all me, you, Gail, and we got like Cuba Gooding Jr. over here and his bodyguard.
He had nothing to do with
and
that.
Rihanna, and she's beautiful.
Rihanna is our Jen, everybody. Let Jen hear it. Jen.
Normal Jen.
Yes.
Normal Jen.
Uncrazy Jen could be a nice name for her.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be her life coach too. We already talked about it.
You could be everybody's life coach.
Can I be yours?
Yes. Here's my phone number. 17 star 45 asterisk, and that's it. Call me.
I don't think that's real.
You are exhausting. Seriously.
My vata, my energy is so up
Wait, did
around
you just call it your vata?
Yeah, my vata. There's
Yeah.
3. There's
vagina.
It's like, it sounds like vagina. Vata, vagina. Vata is your energy, and my energy is through the roof. And then there's kapha, where you're very organized.
Did
and
you
then,
drink 2 cups of coffee today?
No, you guys are my kapha, vata. You give me so much energy, and I love you guys. And now I'm gonna go home, and like, there's gonna be a bunch of students in a subclass that hate me, and then I'm like, oh shit, I'm not on the show anymore. But then I'll remember
Jen.
these memories and not, die.
It's got so
Seriously,
dark.
Yeah, it did get weird. Now, what I'm going to do is take a pillow, smother you, and then pull a sink up out of the floor, throw it through the wall, and slowly go running into the woods.
No.
Because this is fucking cuckoo's nest.
No, it's not. And can I tell you
And
something?
I figured it out now.
No.
I'm the big chief, and I can't leave you here. I can't leave you in D.C.
And I went.
Does that make me Nurse Ratched?
Yes, you're Nurse
You
Ratched,
did.
of course.
I did go to the psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist asked me, she was like, how did you not kill yourself already? And I said, she's a good therapist.
She did. She is good.
And I said, I need to switch psychiatrists because maybe you're not supposed to say that to me. But then they said, like, I got, like, PTSD and OCD and PTT and all
Well, did
this.
anything happen to you when you were a kid?
Oh, man. It was like everything was, like, normal to me, like, playing in the sewers and, like... And
You're thinking of a rat, not yourself.
You
And,
must have been watching Ninja Turtles. That's what it was.
eating orange
That's why she likes
cheese
pizza.
and being bullied.
You were what?
Being bullied. God,
Whoever bullied you, I love those kids.
oh, my gosh. And I got my mom cigarettes with food stamps. Yeah, but it was awesome. But
You mean
now
iPhones.
it's supposed to be traumatic, you know?
It's traumatic if those things happen.
I'm not supposed to watch Porky's at age 7. Come on.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. You got us
You
there.
see?
Well,
But yeah, it's all perception.
Yeah. We have to leave the air now because what do we have coming up next, Chris?
Gary Shandling, A Life in Comedy.
Luckily, Gary Shandling is dead and didn't hear any of this show today.
He
all the time.
Yes.
He loves me.
Yeah, I know he did.
Yeah.
So that's coming up next, but we don't have to leave, Jen. We can all stay here and you can teach everyone yoga. Would you guys be willing to do that? Would you like to?
I love you guys. You guys are my family.
I love the fact that you're all going to leave here and people are going to say, "What did you do today?" And you won't be able to explain it to them. Because
it's like a
I
high.
won't. Yeah.
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 I do that on people. It's like an acid trip, but like without the acid, so like you're healthy, but you're like, whoa. I know.
Well,
boom.
There's Gail Bennington. I'm Ron Bennington. This is my good friend, Crazy Jen. She has kept you captive for the last 2 hours.
I love you guys.
And Chris, what comes up next?
Gary Shandling, A Life in Comedy.
Make sure you listen to that. DC, you're the best, everybody. We're going to be back soon with Comedy 101 or Street Jokes, one of those. See you guys soon. That was insane.
Raw Dog Comedy. Sirius XM 99 and on the Sirius XM app.
You're listening to Gary Shandling, A Life in Comedy. Ron Bennington speaks with the people who were influenced by the profound and groundbreaking comedian.
My sheepdog kicks when he sleeps, okay? Now, my friend said that means your dog's having a nightmare. Now, what's a nightmare for a dog? What, he's drinking out of the toilet and the lid falls?
For the next hour, the life and brilliant work of Gary Shandling will be discussed.
For those of you who don't know exactly what boxing is, it's a sport where, two men put on little shorts, oil up, put on gloves, weigh themselves, and then take their robes off. Which is, pretty much where I lose interest, because,
This is Gary Shandling, A Life in Comedy.
The United States Post Office has decided to use both Elvis stamps. Did you know this, by the way?
No, I did not.
I just discovered this. They're using the young Elvis stamp for a standard mail and the old Elvis stamp for packages over 300 pounds.
And here's your host, Ron Bennington.
Welcome to Gary Shandling, A Life in Comedy. I kind of started this laughing because I'd never heard that Elvis joke before. It's really, really funny. But Gary Shandling, of course, one of the all-time great stand-up comedians, writers, showrunners, and comedic actors. Such a pleasure to have some of the folks on this show tonight. Jeffrey Tambor, Judd Apatow, Pete Holmes, Janine Garofalo, Alan Zweibel, Todd Barry, Kathleen Madigan, Tom Sharpling, Andy Kindler, Joel McHale, Kevin Nealon, and Artie Lang, all here for Gary Shandling, A Life in Comedy. Truly one of the funniest comedians of all time. Could have easily hosted the Tonight Show instead of Jay Leno. There was a time where it looked like Shandling was the heir apparent, and then he decided to pull himself out of that and made a show about a talk show, which is absolutely brilliant, and that's the Larry Sanders Show. There's very few people writing and producing comedy today that don't cite Gary Shandling as an influence. As a matter of fact, a lot of people don't even realize that they're influenced by Gary Shandling because it just looks like comedy on TV now. When you watch The Office or Louie or Modern Family, so many of those shows go back and use elements that Gary had pioneered. So Judd Apatow is going to do a documentary on Shandling, and Apatow was a guy who came up under Shandling's wing and used to use him as a touchstone all the time. So we start this off. This is from a town hall that was for the new Pete Holmes show. And it was Judd Apatow, Pete Holmes, and Artie Lang. And the topic of Gary Shandling came up.
So I've been interviewing everybody from his world the last few months. And so we were talking to Kevin Nealon and Sarah Silverman and Conan and Jay Leno and David Duchovny. And hopefully that'll be on, I don't know if it'll be on at the end of this year or the beginning of next year. But it's an amazing story because he started writing comedy for Welcome Back, Kotter and Sanford and Son, and then did stand up at the Comedy Store in the 70s when every night it was Richard Pryor and Robin Williams were there, and then created all these shows and just had this remarkable life.
People bring up the show.
He went for Sanford and Son.
Yeah.
That there's such a funny Red Fox story where supposedly somebody, an agent of his who was black said, you got no brothers in the writers' room, man. Come on, so and he said, yeah, you're right. Fire all them, fire all the Jews in the writers' room. All the brothers in there. So the first read through with the network with the black writers, it bombed, and Red Fox got up and said, "Bring me back my Jews."
Fighting first.
And Shanley was one of them.
Shanley wrote a camping trip episode.
That's great.
That's a very, very funny story, and it goes to show you how long. I mean, I had never realized that he went that far back. He had been doing comedy writing for many, many years before I saw him as a stand-up comedian. And I'd have heard stories that Mitzi Shore wasn't happy about him doing both, that she was always saying, you've got to choose whether you want to be a sitcom writer or you want to be a stand-up comedian because you can't do both. And this is one case, of course, where Mitzi was wrong. He did end up doing both, and a lot of that had to do with the fact that he wanted to kind of branch off and do all different kinds of things. A lot of that just has to do with the fact that he was such a funny man. This is Judd Apatow and Pete Holmes talking about Gary Shandling.
I mean, he had perfect jokes. He had this one joke we always laugh at, which is, I like to shave one leg, so I feel like I'm sleeping with a woman.
But then you have all his old notebooks, and I've had the privilege of being with Judd when he's looking through Gary's notebooks, and you'll just see written in the margin, like, what do cats dream about? What's a cat nightmare? Quicksand in the litter box? Just like little things that you're like, that would have been a great tweet.
He was also the fastest, from what I saw, the fastest guy, like back witty, From what I saw, I never hung out with him.
Well, he was very into Buddhism and, things like Zen and the art of archery, and his whole thing was to be present and in the moment and trust that your comedy will come if you're completely present and not thinking. And there's a lot of things in these journals he has that are about that, about, okay, you're about to do the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. You know what to do. So if you don't think at all, you'll just be funny. And that was
just respond,
an interesting approach to it that really worked for him. He always looked so comfortable.
I love the idea that, first of all, it just blows my mind to think of Gary Shandling as a spiritual person, because so much of his comedy was about anxiety and jealousy and little dark things. But the fact that he was always doing his best to balance that with spirituality is mind-blowing to me. And when you think about the speed of him, I mean, he was so fast. And I remember there was a Dinner for Five, and Vince Vaughn was talking about being on that show. And Vince has always thought of himself as as a quick wit, but he ended up calling Shandling the sheriff. He just thought that he was the fastest gun in town. And I would love to see some of those notebooks myself, just as a fan. I remember the first time I saw him do a Tonight Show spot, and I remember standing up during it. I was actually just standing in the room watching it. I was a kid, and I was just thinking, who is this guy? There's certain jokes that I can remember from that first Tonight Show spot, and I always wonder how many people thought the same way. And when you look at those notebooks, I love the fact that Pete brings up that the notebooks don't look like other people's notebooks. And just think about what they do with kids in school where, you're not following the rules, you're not doing this correctly, but the way that he wrote fit Gary Shandling's mind, and that's why we end up calling him a genius. And what he did, of course, with the Larry Sanders Show is genius. It's just absolutely perfect. And they were able to find spots in show business where they kind of pulled the curtain back. And if you grew up a television kid, and most Americans did, and you love the variety shows or you love the Tonight Show, the thought that you could see behind that curtain even a little bit was thrilling. And the Shandling aspect of that, what he brought to Larry Sanders, where he opened it wide open and showed you just how much politics take place. This is Jeffrey Tambor talking about the Tonight Show and what they wanted to show that the people at home never got a chance to see before, but they got to explore that with the Larry Sanders Show.
I went to, Gary went on the Mr. Carson show, and I went with him, and I sat in the back, and I watched Gary go on. And what I did not know is that in the breaks, they take the lights down, and Mr. Carson and Ed, whom I knew a little bit, and they just went silent. They didn't joke around. They didn't do dick.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything. And I said to Gary, we have to do that. And we did do it, I think, for about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But that's 2.5 minutes. You go to commercial for 2.5 minutes.
That was a real key to what worked about that show. The great thing about the Larry Sanders Show, I thought, is to see how confident Larry would be on stage and then where that confidence went when he wasn't on stage. And a lot of it had to do with him sitting in his office, being mad at writers, being mad at the booking department, being needy. And I thought some of the most amazing scenes were him at home at night watching his own show in bed and giggling along with it and wanting whatever was either his wife or his newest girlfriend to kind of agree with that. The Larry Sanders Show was amazing. This is Joel McHale, who of course blew up on the show Community as well as The Soup, talking about why Gary Shandling was so important to comedy. The fact that he had 2 groundbreaking shows.
I met Gary Shandling a number of times. It was like in a group of people, so it wasn't. I never had a moment where I could say how important he was to, like obviously between the 2 series he did, how important he was for me for comedy. But and it's also so weird when you see your idols. Like when I met Eric Idle, who literally has the word idol for a last name, you can't just like, yeah, you have no idea what you did. You can't. So instead, I just make small talk and be like, you ever learn to like American baseball? So if you talk to like Ricky Gervais, will tell you that that The Office is a direct line from those shows, and so in which The Office changed. They literally invented a format of television, basically or popularized it, and so. I think I hopefully in years to come, I'm sure that stuff holds up. I think it does. There's only a few comedies that do, but when I've gone back and watched Larry Sanders, I'm like, it's still, at least, I obviously young people wouldn't get a lot of the references, but I think I still watch The Honeymooners, and the references that are made are some of them are really obscure, but you can't deny the unbelievable comedic force that cast was.
That is Joel McHale talking about Gary Shandling, and he made a really good point that everybody on that show was just stunningly good in their roles. The casting for the Larry Sanders Show was absolutely unbelievable. But I was talking with Tom Scharpling. And Tom, everybody knows from The Best Show, and also the fact that he wrote for Monk and Tim and Eric's awesome show and the TV show Divorce. Tom Scharpling is always this guy's like an encyclopedia to me about show business and all kind of aspects of show business, TV and movies and music. But it was great to talk to him because sometimes you have to remember what it felt like in the moment when the rules change, right? So you could look at the Larry Sanders Show today and go, oh, yeah, I get it. It's a good show. It's like The Office or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, we had never seen this before. We were the Indians on the beach when Columbus came sailing up for this kind of comedy. So this is Tom Scharpling talking about what it was like in the 90s, the first time you got to see the Larry Sanders Show.
I think it was the first one of those things to really, you take for granted the idea of incorporating celebrities into things. Now it's like everybody does that with everything. I think The Player and Larry Sanders were the two things that were just shocking when they wove celebrities into the world, into a fictional world. The idea of showing the other side. I mean, I remember the David Duchovny thing on Larry Sanders. Just think that was like the most shocking thing I had ever seen, and I couldn't believe that it was happening, that a famous person would play themselves in a way that wasn't who they actually were and kind of really embrace it.
Yeah, that was mind-blowing to see, Elvis Costello as not such a good guy. And the jokes ran on and on and on. The Duchovny stuff was amazing because, here's a guy who at the time was as big as a heartthrob as you could get, but he came across like he was sexually into Larry Sanders. Rip Torn on that show. Amazing. And I think anybody who's in show business looks for a Rip Torn type guy to be their producer now. I mean, why wouldn't you want Arthur to be running your life? And so many people came out of that show, but there was first of all, I think something kind of really took place in the 90s that was interesting as far as women in comedy, in stand-up comedy, and even on TV. You always had in stand-up comedy, or in comedy in general, you had two different kinds of camps there. You had people that were doing stand-up, like Joan Rivers and Toady Fields and Moms Mabley, and they were hysterical, but they would need this kind of masculine attitude to hold the room. And that's why people would say stuff like, well, there aren't funny women, even though you could make all these cases that there were, because you did need that physicality to hold a room. And when I say room, I'm talking really about a saloon, a bar, which some people call comedy clubs, but let's face it, it's a bar. On the other side, there's always been incredibly funny writers, Dorothy Parker and Nora Ephron and Fran Lebowitz, that type of person that no one doubt that women could write funny. But somewhere in the 90s, those two camps kind of came in together to start something new. And Gary Shandling had booked one of those people on the show, and that's Janine Garofalo. And I've always thought that she was one of the most important comedians of all time because she kind of blended those two camps together. And she was amazing on Larry Sanders. And if you've ever worked anywhere in any kind of show business, there's always that young, hip chick that knows what's happening in the streets working there. And she's kind of dead-eyed when old school pops up. And Janine nailed that. And this is Janine talking about her time on the Larry Sanders Show.
I knew him, obviously, from stand-up. I knew who he was. And then when I was living in Los Angeles in the early 90s, I ran into him a couple times, and he also did a spot on the pilot for the Ben Stiller Show, and then it was nice enough to give me the opportunity to come in and audition for the show he was doing called The Larry Sanders Show, and was unbelievably kind to give me that opportunity, because the first time I had acted really in anything was the Ben Stiller Show and the Larry Sanders Show when I was 27. So I really didn't know what I was doing, and it was very lucky that I had those two opportunities. And Gary was without, overstating it, probably one of the best bosses I've ever had, and was one of the nicest, most supportive people I've ever worked with. And unfortunately, it was sort of like a baptism by the opposite of fire, because I didn't know it wasn't always going to be like that for other acting jobs.
That's Janine Garofalo talking about her time with the Larry Sanders Show. And I remember I was crushed when she left the show. She went on to do SNL and movies, but being a big fan of that show, I just didn't want her to leave. And it's interesting to hear her talking years later that maybe that wasn't the best idea, at least on a personal level. But she is part of something that is pretty incredible, the Larry Sanders Show.
A lot of shows use the devices that he sort of, with the other co-creators, pioneered in that show. And if you come late to it and just watch it now as a younger person, you think that it's derivative of more modern things, but it really isn't. It was one of the first things that did that sort of docu-realism, behind-the-scenes type of genre. But also, so much of it was improvised, and he really wanted people to, especially in terms of scenes with him, say things differently each time you spoke to him, so that it would force him to really listen and respond more naturally, which I think is a really great way to work. A lot of other people over the years that I've worked with do not like to work with that way, unfortunately. But I thought it was just a really great way to get the most natural reactions and responses. Having said that, the writing was very, very good, too. So I don't want anyone to think like, oh, it wasn't structured and it wasn't scripted, because it was, and they worked very hard on the scripts. But he was always open to ideas from the cast. If he didn't like them, you wouldn't use them. But he was, because one of the most important things is that you feel confident. And he was really good at making people feel confident to try things.
It's Gary Shandling, A Life in Comedy, and what a life that it was. Just hearing some of these things, it reminds me of the people that were so crazy about the Larry Sanders Show in real time. And I always thought that what it really worked, what about it that really worked, is that it was a show about show business for people who really like show business. And when you watch a show that is about a show, and then you hear how tough and how hard you had to work to make the show about a show, it's just endlessly fascinating. If you really think about it, you can only really look back at the Dick Van Dyke Show and the Larry Sanders Show as the two shows that kind of really embrace what it was like in the writing room, what it was like backstage. And to this day, I think it's one of the things that people love about SNL is that you never know when the show is going to fall apart. And when it does, like if you're watching SNL and there's a really bad sketch, there's a part of you that is just picturing Lauren's face, maybe Lauren looking over at a writer or thinking to himself, I've got notes for this actor. And that was always fun about the Larry Sanders Show, that it always didn't, come together. Here's a gentleman who also loves the business of show. He does the State of Industry address every year in Montreal, which is, it's beloved and, also cringed at, because sometimes some of your favorite people take it on the chin there. And you also know him from, Mort on Bob's Burgers and his many appearances on Letterman and Everybody Loves Raymond and Dr. Katz. This is the one and only Andy Kindler.
Larry Sanders changed my life. After the election, when I was so depressed, I literally sat down and probably watched every episode on demand of the Larry Sanders Show. And I also got to be two things. My name was teased on the show because Judd Apatow was a writer, and we started out in comedy together. And so they said, the beginning tonight on the show, and then back in Queens, my mom's the guy at the gas station we went to. They said your son's name, but they never showed up. And then I was on a later episode when and almost everything I've ever gotten has been because someone else canceled. Rick Overton was out of town. I was a comic on the show that got bumped because Janine Garofalo's character and Bob Odenkirk were having a feud. I would say that not every show is perfect that they did, but how could it be? But when they got it, the exact tension of the reality of a real life and the comedy of it, I can't think of anything better than it's ever been on TV. It just hit, and amazing in a way that they pulled it off, because it sounds like just the whole idea, like, when they would go to the show part, that would be shot like how they shot the shows, and the backstage stuff was on film, and it just, and also just, to me, it warmed my heart, because I was doing a lot of those jokes about, not those jokes, but they could really make fun of show business people like Leno. They could go after Leno big time, under the guise of it's not real.
I actually forgot about that Larry Sanders would always be asking his guests who had done Leno, is he kind of odd? I keep hearing that he's strange. Just this little small digs, and just showing how everybody is insecure in show business. Earlier, we were talking with Judd Apatow about the fact that he's putting together a documentary on Gary Shandling, which I'm dying to see. But if you ever get the opportunity, the box set that came out, the DVD box set, have all these extras. And there are so many uncomfortable moments in the extras. I'll just say this. Gary Shandling and Alec Baldwin in the boxing ring together is so cringeworthy and so great to watch. But almost everything that he's doing, he gets back together with his ex Sharon Stone, and they're eating breakfast together. And I was watching a lot of this with my hands over my eyes. It's just great how much Gary was willing to put out there to people. And I'm really looking forward to the documentary that Apatow is putting together. I really hope that there's footage of these basketball games that Gary would put together every week. And it was kind of a who's who of comedy that would show up for these games as a chance to bond. Because I'm not sure how many of these folks were serious basketball players, but it gave them a chance to get together with a guy many of them looked up to, and to just have a little chill time. Kevin Nealon is a very good friend of Gary Shandling's, and everybody knows him from Weeds and all the Adam Sandler movies and SNL Weekend Update. And Kevin was actually talking to us a bit about those basketball games.
It was kind of a rotating circle of people. It was people that would come up for a while and then disappear. But it was people like me and Jack Cohen, who was one of the producers and head writers on The Tonight Show. It was Steve Miller, he was an agent, Sarah Silverman, myself, David Duchovny would come up. I would see so many different celebrities coming up there. Everyone from Brad Pitt to Jim Carrey, Ryan O'Neal, even musicians would come up too. It's pretty amazing. It wasn't really an arduous game. Nobody was really that good, so it was kind of a nice little workout. But there was some fun times. I would mostly kind of fool around up there and do silly stuff. Most of the comedy would happen on the sideline.
Alan Zweibel, the great writer, was also talking to us about those games.
He had a group of young writers who were his devotees. And he had a basketball game on Sunday afternoons out in L.A. that I used to play in. And, Judd Apatow and Ed Solomon and whoever was in town, Ben Stiller would play. And these were all people, if you'd speak to them, all right, they feel they owed their writing careers to Gary. He became a mentor. There was a certain amount of wisdom, and it was, like I said, the dichotomy, the contradiction was somebody who is able to dispense, and we all know people like this, wisdom, okay, have trouble doing it themselves for themselves, But there's a large contingent of writers Sarah Silverman. I mean, the people who spoke at his memorial, it was pure love and pure gratitude for having Gary in their lives. He helped people with their drafts, with their rewrites. People like Judd would show him first cuts of movies, take his notes and take them seriously. I know that I did the same thing. If I would do a pilot, I would show it to Gary, okay? And I'd say, what does it need, whether it was in script form or whether it was already shot. Bunny, I sent him the pages before I even had it published. And I remember he marked it in the like a school marm in the margins.
Yeah,
there were like X's and checks and little circles and see me. And all that.
That's Alan Zweibel. He's one of my favorite people in the world. He's a great storyteller and a great writer. One of the original writers on Saturday Night Live. And if you just think about that alone, he was there at the very beginning of Saturday Night Live. But he's written for TV and film. He's written this terrific play called Bunny Bunny about Gilda Radner. 700 Sundays he wrote with Billy Crystal, which was a big Broadway smash. He did the Gilda Live show, which was on Broadway, worked with Larry Sanders on Curb Your Enthusiasm, and he just wrote this book with Dave Barry. He has been about everywhere that you can be with comedy. And I think what is fascinating, because we talk a lot about the Larry Sanders show, but the Gary Shandling show, which Zweibel and Shandling created, that was a show that was before its time. It came on in the late 80s on Showtime. And it was like everything that you think about with the Larry Sanders show and the way it kind of turned talk show life around. The Gary Shandling show did with sitcoms. He actually lived inside of a sitcom. That was the basic premise. So you had to take a real leap if you're watching this show. You had to count on the fact that these writers thought that the audience that they were getting was going to be smart. And the early days there of cable was the first time that you're looking at some kind of experimental stuff. But I just think it's an amazing, crazy show. And these guys put that together. And I don't even believe that they knew each other before the fact. So this is Alan Zweibel talking about meeting Gary Shandling.
He was so smart. This was 86-ish, I want to say. I got a phone call from my manager, a man named Bernie Brillstein, whose company also managed Gary. Mm-hmm. Brad Gray, who's now the president of Paramount Pictures, was a manager in the company, and his stable included guys like who no one had ever heard of yet: Gary Shandling, Dana Carvey, John Lovitz, Dennis Miller. It just those guys, okay? Kevin Nealon. And it became a fantastic partnership. So Gary was represented by Brad, but it was all under the same umbrella. And Bernie called me and asked if I knew who Gary Shandling was, and I had seen him on Letterman or something like that. And I went, yeah, I think he's really funny. He said, well, he was doing a special for Showtime, and they needed some fresh eyes, and they sent me the script, and I said, I think I could help. So they flew me out there, and I went right from the airport to whatever restaurant. I had dinner with Gary, and I thought he was a nice enough guy. And we said, okay, we'll keep talking. I go and I check into whatever hotel. Now I'm sleeping. It's 1:00 in the morning. It's like 4:00 for my body, right? Because I'd just flown in from New York. The phone rings in my room. Hello? Alan, it's Gary. I'm thinking, Gary, who? I mean, I'm just so disoriented. I go, oh, hey, man, what's happening? Alan, my dog's penis tastes bitter. You think it's his diet or what? I called my wife. I said, I think I found a writing partner, So, I mean, he just was that funny,
It was a tremendous show. And as like I said, probably a little bit before it's time. But if you get the opportunity, go back and watch It's Gary Shandling Show. And as Judd Apatow was bringing up earlier in this show, that Judd is putting together a documentary on the life and times of Gary Shandling. And I hope you get to see a bunch of the stand-up and a bunch of the different shows. And also any times that he hosted The Tonight Show, because he was just a killer on there. It's Gary Shandling Show, to me, is just this perfect little pearl. And you can see the fact that they were kind of standing show business, and particularly the sitcom, on its ear.
Having Gary as a writing partner was like lightning striking again, as it had done the first time with Gilda.
Mm-hmm.
He was a guy who he made me laugh as much as anybody. I think he may have one of the smartest guys I ever met. We both were. There was a degree of anarchy that the two of us had when it came to what was formulaic on TV. He had written for Sanford and Son. Oh God, those kind of shows. There's another.
I think Welcome Back, Kotter.
Welcome Back, Kotter was the other one, which were good shows, but they were the norm. And the two of us, just like SNL, when we started it, was the anti-show, if you will, for lack of a better phrase, of the variety format. Okay, It's Gary Shandling Show became that for the sitcom format. The fact that he spoke to camera was no big deal because George Burns had done it before. It had been done before. But what we did was we opened the whole thing up. I mean, he drove a car in the studio from one set to the other. The audience was a part of the show. The conceit was that he lived in this apartment that happened to be on TV. So whoever came into the apartment, whether it was Tom Petty or Rob Reiner to do the dishes, they were on television right now. And what Gary and I did was, with SNL, it was like, okay, Carol Burnett show would do it this way. How are we going to do it? With Gary and I would be, all right, one day at a time. We'd do it this way. How are we going to do it? So it was even the theme song. We wrote a theme song together in an elevator. We were on an upper floor of a building. We get onto the elevator, and Gary says, we're going to need a theme song. And I go, all right, what should it be? He says, well, let's do a theme song about the theme song. So I said, what do you mean? And he said, well, and he starts sort of singing. This is the theme to Gary Show. This is the theme to Gary Show. And I say, oh, Gary called me up and asked if I could write his theme song. Then he sings, I'm almost halfway finished. How do you like it so far? Then we both sing, how do you like the theme to Gary Show? Then I said, this is the theme to Gary Show, the opening theme Gary Show. He said, this is the music that you hear when you watch the credits. Then I said, I'm almost to the part where I start to whistle. Then we'll watch It's Gary Shandling Show. Then we both started whistling. And then we both said, this was the theme to Gary Shandling Show. By the time we got to the lobby, it's been a full day. Let's go home.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was the theme to Gary Shandling Show.
If those guys would have done nothing else in comedy but write that song, I think there would be a place in comedy history for him. It's so damn funny. Amazingly funny show as well. One thing that we haven't really scratched on too much here is Gary Shandling's stand-up, which to me, he was always first and foremost a stand-up. It's hard to believe that the same guy that was writing for those traditional shows like they were talking about, whether it was Welcome Back, Kotter, then was able to go and really do mainstream stand-up comedy. At the time in the 80s, it was probably Seinfeld, Shandling, Brenner, those type of guys that would get on TV and do those mainstream sets that the whole family can watch. And they were all very, very successful. But when you see that Gary jumped out and did this surreal TV show, this Gary Shandling Show, just goes to show you how many places that he was going in his mind. But to take it back to stand-up, this is one of the funniest stand-ups in the country, Kathleen Madigan. And she was telling me on the Bennington show one day about kind of being picked off stage by Gary Shandling and asked to write with him when he was hosting a television show. This is Kathleen Madigan talking about Gary Shandling.
He was so neurotically funny, but like a normal guy. Like he would come to Comedy Magic Club all the time. I helped him write a bunch of his Emmy, when he would host the Emmys, the monologue stuff. Nice, funny, fun, smart, as neurotic as he seems. He was about weird stuff. That's the irony of how he died like that. That would have been something he would have thought about over and over and over, and just that was shocking because I didn't even know. I guess in the Comedians in Cars I didn't watch it yet, but I guess he already had health issues, but not that health issue, and it was he seemed way too young. But I'm getting old. I don't know. What 60 is still pretty. When he's 60, that's or is he a little older than that?
Yeah.
It doesn't add up when you see some of the old. Bob Newhart.
Yes.
Those guys are still here. Great, but
still
then
working.
It would be normal to hear Don Rickles passed away. That you go, oh yeah, But sometimes he would come to the Comedy Magic Club, and he would get way off the highway, and it would go really crazy. Woo, where are we going? hello, Gary. And then he would come back to what the material he wanted to try. But it was all still entertaining, even when he wasn't knocking it out of the park. It was still smart, funny. He's just a smart, funny dude. And he took the legal pad with all of his his handwriting. Even his handwriting would have told you really all you needed to know. If you went, whose notebook is this? Okay,
yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna go now. Crazy legs, have fun in here. It was just there's drawings and then words, and if you really would think a person with some sort of disorder had written all of that. I think it was just really a bit of ADHD too, where he. The conversation would go to, I'm talking to you and go, why did they pick blue? Now he's looking at your wall color and you're come back. Sometimes I think I'm too, as my brother says, Joe Six-Pack, Sally Lunchbox. I'm not odd. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I wish I was more odd, but the brain you get is the brain you get. But his was, yeah, it was hard to keep him focused. And then, but then what was amazing is we would work night after night at the club on this Emmy monologue, and I'd think, oh my God, he's so scattered. He does not have this down. It is just ramshackle. And then he'd go on TV, and it's like watching your puppet come out. You're be a good puppet. Do it. Bang your cymbals, monkey. Bang your cymbals. And he would do it perfectly. So he was when he really needed to be. He could fully concentrate and just hit a home run out of the park. But if you would have seen the show at the Comedy Magic Club, you'd been like, that man shouldn't be hosting anything. That was crazy. That was crazy.
Kathleen Madigan talking about working with Gary Shandling. It's funny how we just want to believe that funny people or songwriters or novelists, that it just flows. It just happens so easily. But the fact that there is so much elbow grease that takes place, and unlike those other art forms, the fact that has to take place in front of an audience in a club while you're working out to see what the great stuff is going to be for TV. At no point did you ever have to be there when Paul McCartney was singing Ham and Eggs before he finally got to Yesterday, If that was the same thing, some audience would be like, this guy's terrible. Ham and Eggs. And it, of course, leads to one of the greatest songs of all time in stand-up. It takes place in front of the audience. This is Kathleen Madigan talking more about writing with Gary Shandling.
He walked by me. He goes, "You're really funny." He goes, "You need to write my Emmy monologue." I didn't even know the guy. I'm like, "Oh my God, no! Oh my God, no! You just saw me do 8 minutes set. That's not enough to write your Emmy." No. He goes, "No, I'll do it with you, but you got to come down." And I said, "Okay." So that's how I met him. I think he liked that I am organized. My sets don't go crazy. It's boom, boom, joke. And I think he liked. It was trying to get someone to help him. I would say I helped him organize his own thoughts more than I wrote. I did write a lot of the jokes, but he's writing them too. It wasn't lazy. But he couldn't. Transitions, not really his thing.
I just think that's so amazing that you had that unique experience. You know, like so many times that you go for jobs and whatever, you get them, you don't get them. Here's one that you weren't even looking for.
I didn't even want, really.
Yeah.
I was too nervous. I'm like, oh my God, no,
Yeah.
I don't want to. Find someone your own age. Why are you talking to me? You're freaking me out. You're making me nervous. And I don't get nervous. You're making me very nervous. But he was so nice. He's like, so you'll come down. You'll be here tomorrow. Yep. The next day. Yep. Until I have to go do my job, I will come every night you want me to come. And I didn't know if I was getting paid. I didn't even care because it was Gary Shandling. I was like, this is just, and I wouldn't say that about a lot of people. There's not a lot of people where I would just bow out.
Yeah.
I have said, no, I'm good. I'm done. But he was just fun dude.
Kathleen Madigan talking about Gary Shandling. Again, it shows you what a good eye and a good ear Shandling had for comedy just to pick her out of the crowd. Another person that he decided to say, yeah, this dude is funny, is one of the funniest stand-ups out there today. As a matter of fact, he's got a new book out. Just go and look at it on Amazon. Just put in Todd Barry book. It'll pop up everywhere. But this is Todd Barry talking about Gary Shandling.
I was lucky enough to have Gary Shandling saw me do stand-up on Conan and wanted me to audition for his show. So I put myself on tape for a part of a writer, and I got the part, and I ended up filming 2 episodes. And it was kind of a surreal experience because it's such a good show, and he was really cool to work with. He was very nice, and there was one moment where one of the earliest scenes I shot, and he walked up to me between takes and was like, he had an idea for how I should do it, but he said it in a way like, he goes, only do this if you think this is a good idea. And I was like, okay, I mean, I'm going to try it, but I don't remember the specific idea, but I just thought it was really like trusting of him to go, don't do this if you don't want to.
It's Gary Shandling, A Life in Comedy, and Gary Shandling is a guy that we lost too soon, and it was such a shock to the comedy world. I think people are now just somewhat coming to grips with it, and I also believe it's such a great idea right now for Judd Apatow to be putting together this documentary. I want to thank Judd Apatow and Jeffrey Tambor, Kevin Nealon, Joe McHale, Andy Kindler, Tom Sharpling, Kathleen Madigan, Artie Lang, Pete Holmes, Janine Garofalo, and Alan Zweibel and Todd Barry for their thoughts about Gary Shandling. But this is a couple of his friends talking about losing Gary Shandling. This is Alan Zweibel talking about the memorial.
He was this very, very interesting mess, okay? And I say that lovingly. He was real smart, and spiritually, he was far advanced of everyone. He was into crystals before anyone was. He had a cabin in Big Bear, which I guess about 100 miles or so outside of L.A., where he used to go and meditate before anybody was doing it. And so in terms of his spiritually, he was really evolved. That said, he was awkward socially. Okay. It was, he had some difficulties with that, things that ordinarily would be, human nature 101. You thank somebody, you're nice to them. There were times where he was difficult, and when he passed, I was asked to speak at his, Judd Apatow asked me to speak at his memorial. So we went to L.A. and spoke, and most of the speakers in very polite, but also very, it was interesting. It was troubling because our relationships with Gary, a lot of us, myself very much included, were incomplete. In that, after we finished doing our show, we did 72 episodes over a 4-year period of time. We were hardly speaking, and we came back east for the summer. We had a home. We had a summer home in New Jersey. Lived in L.A., summered in New Jersey. Figure that out, okay? We were back in Jersey, and my wife saw in the paper that Gary was appearing in Atlantic City, and she called him. and said, I'm bringing Alan down and I'm putting the two of you in a room and you're not coming out until you're friends again. You've been through too much together. And that's indeed what happened. But through the years, I know that had I not been pursuant of him, emails and occasional phone calls, look, I remembered his birthday. There's not a chance in hell he knew mine. Do you know what I mean? There was a self-involvement there. And I don't believe for a second that it was malicious. I just think that he was caught within himself. And a lot of people, and what I had talked about at the memorial, as did a few others, was that there was a closeness, then an estrangement, and then there was a road to reconciliation when he died. So depending upon how close you are to reconciling, it hurt that much more or was that much more frustrating,
And this is Kevin Nealon, Gary Shandling's very good friend, talking about Gary Shandling.
I miss a lot of him. There's so many facets to Gary that I miss. I miss his imperfection. I miss his perfection. I miss being able to call him anytime, and just mostly when I called him, my first line would be, "What am I going to do?" And he was used to that. And then he would call me occasionally and go, "What am I going to do? What am I going to do?" Hopeless. But I miss him just dropping by the house and playing with my son, or going on hikes with him. We go on hikes often, or drive out to Malibu and have lunch, or just sit on a bench and look at the ocean.
This has been Gary Shandling, A Life in Comedy, and just scratched the surface here. Obviously, it was a hilarious life. It was a complicated life, and it was a life that not only the fact that he's gone now leaves a void in comedy, but you can hear with so many people who loved him, a void in their life as well. Let's end this with the guy who played Hank Kingsley on the Larry Sanders Show, which I personally think is one of the greatest characters of all time. The guy that you never wanted to see win, but then you hated to see lose, Hank Kingsley. This is the one and only Jeffrey Tambor.
Well, he was an amazing genius. He changed my career. And talk about giving people a chance and saying, this is your chance. He gave me a chance. He was the gentlest of geniuses, the kindest. He helped so many people out behind the scenes. There are so many movies that I've seen on screen that I know that he's been in the writing room with them. He's just that kind of guy. Or, young kids who've stood up, he's gone there and helped people with their writing. He was great. I still don't believe he's gone. He was great. And I come across so many writers who said they wrote spec scripts for that show, and some of them wrote, Hank scripts. So yeah. I knew I was in a special place. I knew I hit gold.